We are permanently lost in the void. Help us, help us. Site 42 staff, do you read? We are desperately trying to broadcast. The universe is turned against us. Foundation staff, do you read? Help! Send us messages in the chat. Let us know you hear us. Let us know we're not alone out here. You're darn right. Third time's a charm, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is reading all 7con entries, stream 10.75 now.
As usual, happy to be here.
For however long that will be.
Yeah, we got through 2, so no. We're good.
All right, so chat, we are going to take this from the top of the previous iteration. That way, it is consolidated into this one reading. Don't need separate parts skipped over separate streams.
Correct. Do you want to help me do the dialogue in the beginning, though?
Exactly. Now I'll get to know what's going on.
Perfect. All right. The black moon howled, and the earth heard its screams. From the personal recordings of 055. Accessing file. File loaded. December 12th, 2098. Neo Site 19. T. Moose Memorial Hall observation deck. Do you want to take 13? Why not?
All right.
055 stands on a balcony overlooking a forest suffering from the black blight. Small amounts of dark ash occasionally break away from the scene, displaced by the wind. Ash floats towards the balcony. It disintegrates on contact with the force field, protecting Neo Site 19 from the outside atmosphere. In the distance, large biodomes are sunk into the earth, each containing a shielded, Foundation-run city. Above this all, a hollow, enlarged moon, its surface marked by jagged incisions, rests in the night sky. From its wound, the moon secretes a dark, viscous liquid. It stains the webbing of the protective veil mechanism that surrounds the Earth. 0513 approaches from behind, her cane clacking against the concrete floor.
There's beauty in all this.
0513 pauses for a response from 055, but does not receive one.
Not literally, visually, of course. Yet, after the howling, life clings on. It continues despite it all. In cities, in the lands, everywhere in between.
What do you need, 13?
Company, Rebecca. I've held this role for some time. Known the rest of the council for decades comparatively. You're rather new to me. I'd say you have another 20 years left before you can shoo me away that easily.
What do you really need? 0513 smiles.
The Centennial Summit next week. 200 years of the Foundation. You are attending, yes?
I'll make time. You think everyone else will show?
No, I don't. Which is why I'm making sure that you'll be there at the very least. But there are certain things you and I need to discuss prior to the council meeting, in private. Do you have time now?
055's device beeps. Evidently not.
Oh, sorry.
New assignment from Oracle. There's a rescue effort in Sector 54, a group of survivors in the ruins of a town. Looks like another cargo cult.
You're an overseer now, Rebecca. You can opt out of Oracle assignments. You don't have to keep doing field work.
Doesn't feel right to stop. Not when I know what it's like out there. 055 walks away from the balcony's edge, slinging her jacket over her shoulder. She pauses. Why is it you call me by that name?
I do the same for all council members. I knew you all before you joined. Knew you how you were. That's how I think of you. I didn't call the last one 5 either.
You shouldn't hold on to the past.
Oh, not at all. And I do not yearn for it. But one needs to know where we came from to know where we're going. We'll be discussing the very future of the Foundation at the summit, Rebecca. If I send you some files, could you at least...
Don't have time to read anymore.
You're spreading yourself too thin.
Then I'm taking after the organization I represent. See you at the summit, Sophia. 055. Exit the balcony. Excerpt ends. Oracle. Credentials accepted. Welcome, Overseer 055. I am Oracle.aic. How may I assist you? You have one urgent reminder and 530 unread messages. The Centennial Summit is set to occur in 3 days and 17 hours. You have yet to confirm your attendance. Are you having doubts? Not filling out paperwork right now. The other 05s know I'll be there if you have actually spoken to. Understandable, Overseer. Will you be resuming your research? SCP-7070. Present iteration in the last update before the Howling. June 2048. It is my duty to inform you that you are about to read a file predating the Black Moon incident. As such, information contained within may be inaccurate. Philosophies and behaviors predating the Howling may be seen as immoral today. Oracle.aic is obliged to inform you that this request has been logged and extensive research into Level 6/Black Moon class documents may be subject to review by the Overseer Council. I'll be looking into my own activity. Got it. Proceed. As requested. SCP-7000 Revision 8292-2048-622 and SCP-7000 Revision 8292-2098-1215. May the knowledge of the past illuminate our future, Overseer. First iteration. Item number 7000. Yeah, also, I can hear myself a little bit in your stream.
Gotcha.
Just letting you know. Level 3, confidential. Containment class, Keter. Disruption class, dark. Risk class, caution. So the image caption, SCP-7000 servers located in Site 03. Special containment procedures. The central SCP-7000 server array is located at Site 03, a temperature-controlled subterranean facility outside of Fairbanks, Alaska. SCP-7000 is subjected to routine maintenance and upkeep on a weekly basis to ensure secure transmission and storage of information. Foundation archivists and automated web crawlers are to search SCP-7000 for instances of SCP-7000-1. Once discovered, documents are to be logged, researched, and ritualistically scrubbed from the network via thaumaturgy. A series of mock servers have been created to automatically quarantine SCP-7000-1 following their creation. All Foundation sites are to maintain a primary and backup connection to SCP-7000. Description. SCP-7000 is the SCIPnet network, the database containing the totality of the SCP Foundation's knowledge. Established in 1960 as a way to digitize and preserve Foundation records, SCP-7000 has progressed into the organization's primary means of cross-site communication, with every secure facility possessing a connection to SCP-7000. SCP-7000 servers possess storage capabilities far beyond what their specifications should allow. Presently, the network hosts over 500 petabytes of information, a number that has grown exponentially each year. It is unknown if there is an upper limit to the amount of data SCP-7000 can process and store. SCIPnet servers are responsible for hosting files on every anomaly documented by the Foundation, of which there are, as of 2048, over 30,000. A complete database of research papers and lab work carried out by the Foundation. Private and public channels for site-to-site communication, including an email network, a messaging service, and a record of every communication between Foundation personnel through SCP-7000. Over 50,000 extensive profiles on all Foundation personnel employed since the organization's inception, 3 million extensive profiles on persons of interest and anomalous individuals across the world, access to the internet, the ability to manipulate and process information on a worldwide scale through the Foundation backends and major networks, and use of web crawlers, an automated backup of all information contained within, with frequent integrity checks to prevent data corruption over time. And the image caption, example of SCP-7000-1 infected documentation, corruption highlighted in yellow, hover click to zoom. And I see black circle emojis and Hal. Okay, what is this? Is
Hog
$65.99?
slice.
Yes. Should I read this whole thing, or should I just move on?
Should note pending reclassification to crushed up, bone ripped, open body. Black Moon is corrupted, put in there. There's a howl. There's exterior organs. Well,
Cool.
Insulting users and encourage self-terminate. Prompts
Right.
action by future feudal corpses.
Right. Another howl. Number an ASOL time actor argument. Then there's some gibberish, and there's humanoid entity resembling orphan pile infected load. Okay. Howling, bleeding, howling, cease. Rupture, flesh, tectonic. Addendum, discovery. SCP, Black Moon, Black Moon, Black Moon, Black Moon was discovered on, and it's corrupted. Okay. SCP-7000-1 refers to documents in SCP-7000 of unknown origin. SCP-7000-1 usually take the form of SCP files and describe entirely fictitious objects, events, persons, and information. These documents are often accompanied by falsified or otherwise impossible metadata, such as edits by non-existent Foundation personnel. While the majority of SCP-7000-1 are incomprehensible in composition, there are a number of motifs and through lines consistent across all such documents. The predominant motif is the mention of a black moon, a phrase of ill-defined significance and meaning. SCP-7000-1 documents, if left unattended, will corrupt and alter data within SCP-7000, bypassing built-in edit authorization software. Alterations can occur seconds after the creation of an SCP-7000-1 instance. These range from slight changes in naming conventions or numbers to large falsifications of entire events and objects within the files of existing ones. Removal of an SCP-7000-1 instance cannot be performed through manual deletion, as doing so will create another identical instance in its place. Permanent deletion is presently only possible through the completion of a thaumaturgic ritual. Over 10,000 instances of SCP-7000-1 are created daily, a number that has been increasing yearly since the phenomenon's discovery in 2030. As such, extensive research into SCP-7000-1 is limited due to exhaustion of Foundation resources. Addendum 01. History of SCP-7000-1 Countermeasures. In 2030, SCP-7000's head technician, Thomas Holden, sent the following memo to the Overseer Council. Let's see. 205 Council at SCIPnet from T-Holden at SCIPnet. Subject: help needed. SCP-7000-1. Greetings, Overseers. The SCP-7000 technical research team is happy to report that employing a duo of on-site thaumaturgists seems to be an active containment solution for the SCP-7000-1 file situation. The current rate of 10 instances per day, we've seemed to work out a doable balance when it comes to logging and exercising them in a timely fashion. Any alterations are easily flagged and reverted minutes later, and we can safely say that the technical backbone of the Foundation has been spared from any lasting damage to its infrastructure. Of course, there is still room to investigate any potential causes of SCP-7000-1's manifestations, an avenue we feel is worth looking into due to the potential security risks within the Foundation's own network. With your permission, the team would like to begin testing on SCIPnet servers in an attempt to uncover more in-depth information about the Black Moon documents. We've sent you dozens of research proposals. We hope that our technical mastery will inspire confidence that this team is capable of fielding storms without sinking the ship. Regards, T. Holden, SCIPnet head technician. Following the O5 Council's approval, the SCP-7000-1 research team performed a series of tests to discern more information about the anomaly. The results have been included below. Table, date, proposal, result. October 13th, 2030. Introduce a web crawler with the capability of performing a techno-thaumaturgic ritual similar to the one used to exercise SCP-7000-1 instances. Initial success. 1 week later, SCP-7000-1 instances production increased from 10 per 24 hours to 50. Web crawler is barely capable of keeping up with the added workload. April 4th, 2031. Introduce scripts that automatically redirect SCP-7000-1's files to a quarantine server detached from SCP-7000. Failure. Files still affect SCP-7000's data regardless of where it has been, where they have been redirected. Instance production is increased from 50 per 24 hours to 175. Testing halted. Seems like they are not clearing the storm and are in fact sinking the ship. August 23rd, 2033. Introduce web crawlers to place a blacklist filter on new documentation containing phrases found in SCP-7000-1. Failure. Filters detect file creation, but are unable to prevent SCP-7000-1 instances from appearing on the network. Instance production increases from 175 to 330 per 24 hours. November 2nd, 2034. SCP-7000 server wipe. Maintenance installing entirely new hardware over a period of 3 days is carried out. Backups of SCP-7000 servers free from -1 instances were downloaded. Failure. SCP-7000-1 instances continue to manifest. Instance production increases from 330 to 650 per 24 hours. Testing halted permanently.
This testing table reminds me of one of my favorite scenes in Invader Zim. I put the fires out. You made them worse.
I remember that, yeah.
Or better.
Yeah, I feel like I would stop after the first 5-fold increase, but you know.
Jeez.
Following the attempt to reconstruct SCP-7000 servers anew, SCP-7000-1 instances began manifesting in increasing intensity without Foundation prompting, usually in an increment of 1 additional instance per day. On August 29th, 2036, Head Technician Thomas Holden wrote a petition to Overseer 0513 in regards to SCP-7000. It has been reproduced below. 2. 05 Council at SCIPnet. From T-Holden at SCIPnet. Subject: Help needed. SCP-7000-1. Greetings, Overseers. We're struggling. We stopped fighting years ago when we realized that meddling with SCP-7000 increased the amount of -1 instances, but even though we've stopped, the anomaly hasn't let up. Even with the increased funding, the covenants of thaumaturgists inhabiting Site 03, the hundreds of web crawlers, and the revolving door personnel on my team, we're losing. When we're not too exhausted to talk, we've been throwing around ideas. Destroying Site 03, rebuilding SCIPnet from the ground up, forgoing the idea of our own privatized network entirely. It's all very grand. But when our greatest paracyber technology is unable to handle something as superficially simple as a self-sustaining virus, we're left with remarkably little options. Some of them want to toss an AIC at it, maybe one that could do all of our jobs for us. The searching, the logging, the ritual. Others feel there's a solution in cross-testing SCP-7000 with other objects. I'm not in a position to authorize that. Please, Overseer, if you haven't already, present our dilemma before the Council. It may be time to accept that SCIPnet is compromised. You think? Regards, T. Holden, SCIPnet Head Technician. Here you are. This is you. 2.
Gotcha.
T. Holden at SCIPnet. From 0513 at SCIPnet. Help needed. SCP-7000-1.
Thomas, I appreciate the difficult position you're in. I really do. Frankly, though, our researchers are stretched enough as it is. Whilst we appreciate the criticality of accurate information to our organization, database corruption, no matter how severe, will not take precedence in the race for time and resources over teams and units dealing with tangible anomalies in need of containment. If some of your men think a .AIC is a valid solution, let's test it out. There's been talk for a while about implementing a construct to manage the entirety of SCIPnet. I'll forward you the details you'll be privy to. Expect an invitation to a more thorough conference soon enough. While I'm more than convinced that this is a potential solution, there still remain some persistent issues I would prefer to discuss in a different medium. Sophia.
Addendum 02. SCP-7000-1 volumes. The following response from 0513, the SCIPnet team has begun design of an AIC capable of both managing SCP-7000 and hypothetically containing SCP-7000-1 documents. The IC has yet to be implemented, and completion of its development is estimated for to be several years in the future. Year. Average daily volumes of SCP-7000-1 instance generated. 2030, 10 per day. 2035, 700 per day. 2040, 1200 per day. 2045, 2000 per day. 2048, 3500 per day. Oracle. That's enough. Oracle, bring up the data from 22nd June 2048, blow-by-blow account of the day's events. Yes, Overseer. One moment. Loaded. Please be aware, my repository of documents from this date is incomplete. Oh, I'm aware. Documents loaded. June 22nd, 2048, 0913 UCT. The following is a transcript of a phone conversation between Foundation employees David Lindhart and Greta Everett. You want to do Everett?
Sure.
Sure. Hello, David Lindhart speaking.
Dave, it's Greta. Greta Everett from Finance. We received the grant request form you emailed over earlier today, but there's a few problems with it.
Problems?
Yeah. Have you got the document open in front of you?
Give me, yep. Okay, it's loaded up.
First page. You don't see the problem?
It's all fine on my end.
There's no text, just black circles. It's rows and rows of black circles.
End log. Lunar Area 32. June 22nd, 2048, 1011 UCT. Seismic activity detected. Several deep moonquakes occur, registering between 3 and 4 MW. I don't know what that unit of measurement is. Extract taken from... I think excerpt would have been better. Extract taken from speech by Darius Mondale, Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, United Kingdom, on the subject of climate change. The science is undeniable. The international community's consensus unequivocal. And so I stand before you today and I ask a question, one important question, above all others. Does the Black Moon howl? The crowd murmurs in confusion. And the answer is yes. An aide walks up to Mondale and whispers in his ear. He waves her away. It howls, and it screams, and it furiously gnashes its teeth at us. Blood begins to drip from Mondale's nose. And there is no escape, no recourse, no opportunity for forgiveness. It is here, and it is vengeful, and I do not know why. Can anybody tell me why? Mondale begins to sob. His tears are a mixture of water and blood. Please, someone just tell me why. I need to know why. Mondale collapses. Lunar Area 32. June 22nd, 2048, 1034 UCT. Seismic activity increases. A moonquake of 6.4 MW occurs, the largest ever detected. June 22nd, 2048, 1148 UCT. Incident report. Entirety of personnel assigned to Site 19 report being locked out of their workstations with their passwords no longer being recognized. Upon investigation by IT, the passwords of all staff have been changed, with no known cause, to Howl. Lunar Area 32, June 22nd, 2048 at 1248 UCT. Security footage, Lunar Area 32. Interior, surface level, cargo bay. Seismic activity detected, 3.4 MW. An expedition crew prepares to embark to the lunar surface to perform maintenance on a monitoring relay. They load the lunar rover with equipment. Seismic activity detected, 5.8 MW. The crew pause and steady themselves, waiting for the tremors to pass. Seismic activity detected, 8.7 MW. Anything not fixed in place shakes with vibrations. Stacked cargo boxes topple over. The rover bounces on its wheels. Seismic activity detected, 11.3 MW. The cargo bay's exterior wall is ripped in two as a large fissure appears in the ground. The pressure difference results in the base's air flowing outwards, taking objects with it. The crew members lift off the ground and are thrown into the exterior environment. Seismic activity detected, 12.8 MW. The fissure significantly widens, fully exposing all four sublevels of to the vacuum of space. Lab equipment, anomalies, and 132 employees stationed at Area 32 float upwards out of the area and into the lunar atmosphere. Remote link to security footage is lost. June 22nd, 2048, 12:51 UCT. Partial transcript of a call between MTF Theta 16 and Site 78 during a standard containment effort. You want to do Theta? I'll do Operator Task Force Commander.
Sounds good.
All right.
We've detained the subject, but the pinger's going off like crazy. 18 assignments in the surrounding area. How should we prioritize? Control? And in relation to our current assignment?
Static blares. The operator's response is indecipherable.
Hello? We're looking at another 4. Now 5. Hey, boss. Not now, 3. Give me a minute.
Those pings are emergency SOS alerts. There was a minor containment breach at Site 74. Getting it under control. We're relaying a reserve power since SCIPnet's having difficulties. Just get back to the site. A loud noise can be heard from the surrounding area. Several MTF operatives call out.
1, you really need to come outside. I'm talking to base. I'll be out shortly.
Interesting. Is it the same? Okay, it's the same person. Got it.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay. Yeah. Commander, it seems we're suffering from an emergency alert ourselves. Please return to base. I'm static. Occasional reverberations can be made out.
Look up. Look up at the sky. What? Is it bleeding?
Lunar Area 32, June 22nd, 2048, 10:34 UCT. Transcription of the last known broadcast from Area 32. Attention all civilians. Your country is in a national state of emergency. Thank you. Great danger is present outside of your home. Please retreat to the nearest form of shelter. Contain yourself. If you possess weapons, arm yourself and prepare for the event in which you may use them. The national consensus of your superiors is that self-termination via any means necessary provides the best course of action. Moments of suffering for you and your loved ones will pale in comparison to what will come should you choose to continue. The average household contains multiple exit solutions. Your body contains multiple exit solutions. Everything around you can be used as a weapon. Pain will only last for as long as you are alive. Should you lack the faculties necessary for immediate self-termination, proceed outside. Opportunities for such action will become apparent. The Moonchild. You can hear daylight's death. You can hear it. June 22nd, 2048, 1302. Commands entered into to a Site 120 terminal. Call all Site 120 security. Help needed at West Wing, Corridor J5. Error. Please enter another command. Call security. Error. Please enter another command. Contact Site number medical. Error. Please enter another command. Display guidance on wound treatment. Error. How. June 22nd, 2048, 1304. Interesting. Partial transcript of telephone conversation between 052 and 0513.
How many confirmed containment breaches?
We're unsure. Of 563 worldwide secure facilities, only 32 remain online. That's what the data we have. SCIPnet's entirely down. We tapped ground communications. There's breaches in almost every major city, and emergency service lines are flooded. On top of what's happening with the moon, all task forces are deployed, but it's not enough. 6 and 10 are contacting known groups of interest.
Fucking hell. Our site's maintaining their power. If not, the nuclear failsafes are going to...
The system's been overridden using the administrator's master commands. It's not our nukes we should be worried about.
There's talk of nuclear action.
From the US and Russia, I've heard. I can't be in everyone's ear, Sophia. It's barely been a half hour.
One's on his way to Yellowstone. We need that on the table as an option. This is unprecedented.
Indecipherable. I can't howl in everyone's ear, Sophia. I can't bleed like I used to. Interesting. And then there's a white space howl there. Another howl. Howl, howl, howl. Howl, howl, howl. Howl. Howl, 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 howl.
Big howl.
Does the black moon howl? Oracle. No other data available. Present iteration SCP-7000 file available below. It's not, though. It's not present because there's the. It says 20. At least it says 2098. Oh, I think it's just. I think it was an error. That's what it is. Okay, it's just misspelled. They put 2048 in that link, but it should be 98. Okay. Item number 7000. Level 5 top secret. Containment class esoteric. Secondary class Yasad. Disruption class Ekhi. Risk class danger. Image caption SCP-7000 data core located at Neo Site 03. Nice render. Special containment procedures. SCP-7000 is contained at Neo Site 03, atop the ruins of the previous facility. Given the essential nature of SCP-7000-Omega, SCP-7000-Omega to the Foundation's operations, the data and core servers are to remain under armed guard at all times. Description. SCP-7000 is the reconstructed SCIPnet network, a database containing the totality of the SCP Foundation's knowledge. In 2048, the Earth experienced a catastrophic event referred to as the Black Moon Incident. Whilst the cause of the incident remains unknown, events on the day of the incident indicate a connection to SCP-7000-1, a form of data corruption experienced by the previous iteration of SCP-7000. Not only was the vast majority of SCIPnet data corrupted, but motifs and phrases associated with SCP-7000-1 proliferated across all forms of information, including civilian databases, noospheric concepts, speech, and written text. Those affected by this corruption experienced significant psychological trauma. In conjunction with this, a toxic substance, frequently named Black Blight, was released from the moon, resulting in 72% of the Earth's landmass being rendered uninhabitable and irreversible corruption to the ecosystem. Over the course of a single day, an estimated 5.5 billion casualties occurred, alongside catastrophic damage to the planet's infrastructure. Since the Black Moon incident, no new anomalies have been discovered. In the wake of the Black Moon incident, SCP-7000 entered a state of prolonged stasis due to the corruptive influence of SCP-7000-1 affecting the entirety of the network's files, with servers remaining inaccessible and their contents incomprehensible. This drastic loss of communicative tissue left the Foundation unable to mobilize its resources efficiently, resulting in a semi-lifted veil state where the organization openly and publicly cooperated with world governments to address the fallout. As a significant portion of global infrastructure and civilian populations have been displaced, destroyed, or lost, most of these efforts were focused on securing resources and outlining potential futures for humanity. After a period of global strife and unrest, SCP-7000 was reconstructed by the Foundation in 2052. This reclamation was only possible due to the neutralization of SCP-7000-1 by SCP-7000-Omega. SCP-7000-Omega is Oracle.aic, an artificial intelligence responsible for curating, managing, processing, and generating information within SCP-7000. The Foundation began construction on SCP-7000-Omega in the months following the Black Moon incident. Just get right back at it. An effort that was aided by the Global Reconnaissance Effort, a conglomerate of numerous world governments and groups of interest who assisted the Foundation due to the urgency of the global situation. There were numerous calls from involved parties to devise an automated solution to the world's overwhelming compounding dilemmas. SCP-7000-Omega was devised to be the most comprehensible artificial intelligence ever constructed. It is the world's first collaborative superintelligence, an egregore, footnote, defined as a non-physical being that arises from the collective unconsciousness of a group. Composed in the minds. No, thank you, Google. Google, shut up. Hello, Google. Why are you so loud? Hey, Google. Stop. Thank you. I don't know what set that off. Oh, is it egregore? Composed of all the minds of all Foundation personnel. Connection to SCP-7000-Omega is introduced via a microscopic series of thaumaturgic sigils surgically inscribed onto the brain, a mandatory process for all Foundation personnel. This is non-intrusive and has no effect on an individual's autonomy or baseline capabilities. Upon introduction to SCP-7000, SCP-7000-Omega neutralized the SCP-7000-1 anomaly and retrieved a comprehensive backup of SCIPnet's data prior to its prolonged blackout. In the decades since, SCP-7000-Omega has provided the guiding doctrine on how best to achieve the containment and maintain the veil in the wake of the Black Moon incident. To present overreach, SCP-7000-Omega is bound by a sole guideline from the form of the Foundation's prime objective. The Foundation's mission is to reestablish normalcy through secure containment in the way most efficient in the current state of the world. As such, SCP-7000-Omega is constrained by the Foundation's mandate to reestablish society in a way that complements the organization's goals. As of 2098, SCP-7000-Omega manages the entirety of the Foundation's operations, prioritizing and assessing anomalous threats as they occur, mobilizing task forces, and generating the most efficient methods of containment. In addition, Oracle is responsible for the construction and oversight of all Foundation exclusionary sites, including resource distribution, traffic flow, utilities management, and civilian surveillance. Addendum 1. The following partial transcript is a speech given by 0513 during a seated behind her, including remaining members of the Overseer Council, Oracle head technician Thomas Holden, and world leaders from various countries. There are hundreds of Foundation personnel present, the majority of which are armed and outfitted in military gear.
Thank you all for being here. I'm grateful we could hold this ceremony today amidst all of the multitudes of pressing duties that would require us elsewhere. My name is Sophia Light. I am 0513. At one point in time, revealing your identity as an overseer was tantamount to treason. It still is. But on paper, the Foundation is still an organization dedicated to containing the anomalous, upholding a curtain to the rest of the world. For all the progress we've made, and the sacrifices that have occurred over the past 4 years, one fact remains. The Foundation failed.
Silence. Some members of the reconstruction effort look at 0513 with confusion.
If we hadn't failed, we would not be sitting underneath a bleeding sky, or be using empty containment cells for supply storage and shelter. We wouldn't have to cope with the knowledge that our loved ones have succumbed to the Black Blight, living like animals in the desolate wastes that surround our encampments. This is not what I was asked to say today, but we failed. And in the face of that failure, there still remains, however childish, a hope that we may bounce back. That we can hit a switch and return like that. Trust me, we tried. There's a screaming sinkhole where Yellowstone used to be now. During the initial fallout, governments and organizations approached the Foundation, begging us to do something. They knew we had exhausted all of our resources, but they still asked. They came to us because of an idea. The idea of the Foundation. An organization which had miraculously succeeded against impossible odds for over a century. How could that Foundation fix this? We were asked to create something that could coexist alongside and above us, to embody the tenets that we hold inside of us without placing responsibility in the hands of a select few. And so, I would like to unveil the Foundation's ARC, Humanity's Life Raft, a project that has been pushed into completion as it is our last possible option. The Oracle Collective Superintelligence. Chances are you've worked on completing it. Chances are you're already a part of it. This is our last chance. Oracle will, ideally, eliminate the factor of chance from the global equation entirely. It will efficiently chart a course for the world's future and how to best achieve it. As Foundation personnel, consider your mandatory participation a penance to reconcile with the past. We are not accepting transfers or resignations from the organization for the foreseeable future. I believe you understand our reasoning. I know you never asked for any of this.
0513 exits the stage. She is visibly upset. The crowd is silent. Addendum 2. Following the establishment of SCP-7000 Omega, the Reformed Overseer Council elected to process all decisions in strategic matters through Oracle and execute the solutions provided by it. An abridged log of these decisions has been produced below. Oracle Decision Log 0000-2050. Problem Statement. The Foundation has developed you, Oracle.aic, to manage the entirety of SCP-7000, the SCIPnet network, to combat SCP-7000-1 and to chart the Foundation course in a world ravaged by the Black Moon incident. Whilst testing has been successful, we have yet to find a way to reach the processing power necessary for Oracle to run 24/7, make simultaneous decisions, and monitor the entirety of Foundation's data. Response and outcome. Response. Oracle.aic suggested hardware updates to itself consisting of Redacted, Outcome: installation of new component was a success. Oracle reaches a level of processing power previously unheard of. All subsequent testing is successful. AIC deemed ready for implementation. Something. Okay, well, maybe we'll talk afterwards, but I got a problem with that statement. Oracle decision log 0001, 2052. Problem statement. As a result of the Black Moon incident, contact has been lost with 64% of Foundation locations, with an unknown number of facilities uninhabitable or devoid of function. Response and outcome. Response. Oracle.aic reconstructed a detailed map of all Foundation facilities from data previously believed irretrievable. Known information and statistical probabilities that they possessed working technology, the chances of dangerous and anomalous interaction, and the possibility of survivors were also included. Oracle.aic then devised a stratagem which prioritized facilities by utility, with hundreds of solutions for potential outcomes should the Foundation attempt to reestablish connections with them. With each successive reclaimed facility, the Foundation would add more data to Oracle.aic's purview, allowing for a constant reassessment of this strategy. Outcome. Oracle.aic strategy proved successful. Within 4 years, the Foundation had reestablished or rebuilt 53% of facilities that were in areas that the AIC deemed uninhabitable. An interconnected supply line of Foundation resources, facilities, and personnel were developed in tandem with other relief efforts carried out by the global reconstruction effort, strengthening the collective influence of all groups involved. Oracle Decision Log 0027, 2052. Problem statement. 83% of agriculture and other food sources were affected by the Black Blight. GH class dead greenhouse event estimated to occur within 10 years. Response and outcome. Response. Oracle.aic suggested the construction of hydroponic farms. In the interim, until facilities are built, civilian diets within global reconstruction effort encampments are to be supported by controlled lapses in the containment of SCP-871. That's the replicating cake outcome, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
outcome.
It is.
Yeah.
Cake.
Construction of hydroponic farms commences, as does the use of SCP-871 to feed surviving populations. Through unknown means, all instances of SCP-871 have been infected with the Black Blight, leading to outbreaks of the disease in civilian populations across 5 encampments. On Oracle's recommendation, the anomaly has been neutralized. Deficiencies in food supply are to be remedied by the recycling of matter from expired civilians. Expiry must not be related to Black Blight. Process fully automated by SCP-7001. So a Soylent Green. We went from cursed cakes to Soylent Green. Oracle Decision Log 0064, 2053. Problem statement. The Foundation lacks information on the large number of anomalies that breached containment during the Black Moon incident. Using the memories and knowledge of those connected to the Oracle.aic program, create a database of the present estimated locations of anomalous objects that escaped Foundation containment years prior. Response and outcome. Response. Utilizing its predictive and analytic capabilities, Oracle.aic estimated the location status and threat level of all anomalies extant in the records which survived the Black Moon incident. Footnote. Currently estimated at 45%. In addition to this, Oracle opined on a topic not explicitly specified in the problem statement. It stated that the Foundation could not resume containment efforts in the same manner as before the Black Moon incident. Research should be scaled back in favor of pure containment given the fragile state of both the Foundation and the world. Outcome. Suggested strategy adopted. Containment efforts progressed with increased levels of success. The majority of anomalies suffer from Black Blight, experiencing an overall degradation of their properties. Anomalies previously capable of locomotion and are immobile. Levels of sentience and sapience have decreased, and the effect of anomalous capabilities has waned or changed. Oracle Decision Log 0275, 2056. Problem statement. For Foundation containment and reconstruction efforts to continue, the Foundation requires more manpower. The drafting of civilians or carrying out operations inside Fallout encampments is disallowed under global reconstruction effort arrangements or agreements. Potential resources of all types are limited. Design continued growth and stability. Response. Oracle.aic produced a detailed plan of clandestine activity intended to destabilize the global reconstruction effort. Operations included astroturfing with the use of mimetic agents and disinformation, sabotage, bribery, and intimidation. Outcome. The Foundation executed Oracle's plan over the following 8 years, resulting in massive damage to the global reconstruction effort and its component groups. During this period, there were over 23,000 defections to the Foundation, bolstering its ranks and providing Oracle.aic with intimate knowledge of the inner workings of other global factions. Behavioral profile analysis showed a positive correlation between an increase in levels of fear and paranoia to an increase in loyalty to the Foundation. Cool.
This specific log just got me so excited for where the story's going.
Yeah, it's definitely going somewhere, that's for sure.
We're fighting dirty now. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oracle Decision Log 2328, 2064, a year sorry, never mind. Problem statement. The Foundation has covertly approached by the covertly approached by the following representatives from within the global reconstruction effort. Vincent Anderson Jr., CEO of Anderson Robotics, GOI 1115. Lenora Dark, heir to the Marshall Carter and Dark fortune, GOI 012. DC Al Fine, Under Secretary General to the United Nations Global Occult Coalition, GOI 007. All representatives suggested the pooling of organizational resources into the hands of the Foundation as they were concerned with the overall power and capability of the global reconstruction effort. Response and outcome. Response. Oracle.aic deemed the offers of Anderson and Dark to be agreeable and of a net benefit to the Foundation. However, it stated that the goals and strategic aims of the integrated GOC members will deviate to the point of organizational schism unless they are forcibly indoctrinated. Military conflict between resulting factions is likely in 63.21% of generated scenarios. Outcome. Both Anderson Robotics and Marshall Carter and Dark were incorporated into the Foundation. The Global Occult Coalition's offer was rejected. Oracle Decision 2356 and 2064. Problem statement. The Foundation is still held to the doctrine of the opposing parties within the global reconstruction effort. Our initiative to reestablish the veil and return the organization to complete containment will remain unfulfilled so long as we are unable to act without the opposition's oversight. The Foundation wishes to dismantle the effort entirely. Here we go. Response. Oracle.aic created a detailed strategy to subsume the global reconstruction effort's power. As the organization had been waning in influence over the Foundation as a whole, the strategy focused on folding willing groups within the effort into the Foundation, forced amnesticization, and the utilization of aggressive military campaigns on opposition with the effort. 83% of notable opposition was sourced from the Global Occult Coalition. Outcome. Over the next year, the Foundation successfully dismantled the global reconstruction effort through controlled campaigns on various fronts. Upon recruitment of new members of the Foundation, Oracle.aic was used to determine their loyalty to the organization and their and their chances of defection. Those who fell lower on the scales were incorporated as D-class personnel or killed. All surviving members of the effort were incorporated into the Foundation and presently monitored by Oracle.aic. The Foundation remains the most significant ruling power in the world with no significant opposing factions. Wow, that's so brutal. Just kill them off if they're not loyal enough. Oracle Decision 3324, 2065. Problem statement. Large portions of the surviving civilian population exist outside of Foundation encampments, often inhabiting ruined cities from the Blightlands. Expand the Foundation-run encampments across the world to house and feed more civilians. Response. Using satellite imaging capabilities, Oracle.aic began to scan for survivor populations existing outside of the Foundation's encampments, including settlements, enclaves, and tribes with populations over 50. Outcome. The Foundation made contact with these populations, offering them food, technology, and resources. Survivors were given the option of moving into the effort's encampments or to remain alongside their settlements. Settlements and encampments were then interlinked, if possible, via trade routes and the establishment of infrastructure that would facilitate production of necessary resources and safe travel along them. Over 300 settlements were enrolled as recipients of the Foundation's benefits. A number of surviving populations remained afflicted by the influence of the Black Blight. These groups were usually centered around the locus of a former SCP object, the source of the Blight's influence. A partial log of survivor recovery efforts carried out by the Foundation in an attempt to assess the states of these populations has been included below. Mission date, July 12th, 2064. Mission type, survivor recovery, anomaly neutralization. Mission output, success. Mission overview. SCP-7000 satellites observed heat signatures and movement indicative of a potential human settlement in Sector 231. Confirmation was unable to be achieved due to the large amount of airborne Black Blight in the sector, obfuscating imagery. Sector 231 sustained critical damage during the Black Moon incident, estimated at 0.07 survival rate. 0.07% survival rate. Upon arrival, the field team encountered a group of 63 humanoid survivors inhabiting a makeshift encampment. At the center of the encampment, the team discovered a formerly contained anomaly, SCP-173, albeit displaying little of its prior documented anomalous properties. Since rediscovery and containment, the statue has not moved. The community has survived by consuming SCP-173's output substance. As a result, the anomaly had obtained an almost deific importance to the community structure and culture. SCP-173 was recontained and transported to Neo-Site-02, where it was neutralized via hydraulic press and incinerated. 58 survivors were transported to Foundation encampments. 5 survivors expired as a result of their own resistance. You made me do this!
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, November 29th, 2064. Anomaly containment. Success. SCP-7000's drones detected fluctuating hume levels in Sector 43 and assembled a team for deployment. 055 discovered an anomaly, formerly designated SCP-999, on the site formerly occupied by the Bodleian Library. SCP-999's appearance was that of a levitating cuboid structure composed entirely of an unidentified orange liquid. Anomaly constantly emits sounds similar to multiple humans screaming. A surviving population of 483 were sourced from its innards, each individual in a semi-catatonic state. Survivors frequently laughed, but did not respond to stimuli. SCP-999 was unable to be neutralized via conventional means, so a 2 by 2 by 2 meter chamber was constructed around the anomaly. Exterior surfaces of the chamber were adorned with warning signs. Okay.
So it knew, so in trying to save people, it like ate them and kept them inside and drove them tickle crazy.
Yes, exactly. Like a protective measure from the outside environment too, I guess. With no regard for their actual, life. This is February 12th, 2065. Survivor assessment. Failure. Population detected along the Mississippi River, United States. An encampment had been affected by an infectious condition causing affected individuals and objects to permanently take on a texture reminiscent of television static. This resulted in extreme loss of identity and memory. Affected instances transmitted this condition to objects they touched. Nearly the entire population had been affected. Cause was determined to be from eating the body of SCP-3000, large bloated portions of which were present in the waters outside of the encampment. Sources confirmed that SCP-3000's body was also present in the Bay of Bengal, and it could not be determined whether or not the entity was dead. Survivor population was unable to be recovered, save for a 10-year-old child that had escaped the village and was living on her own in the forest nearby. The girl was taken into Foundation custody and enrolled in training. April 3rd, 2065. Reconnaissance. Success. A reconnaissance team was deployed to assess the security of the former Foundation facility known as Site 19. Site 19 had sustained catastrophic damage during the initial incident, and the area was deemed too dangerous to be assessed until now. An audit of the status of anomalies still present was taken. Of particular note, SCP-682. Integrity of sublevel 52 intact. Backup generator still functional. Entity rests dormant. Motion sensors show no activity. SCP ? Previous designation unknown. Entity had been altered by the Black Blight to the point of unrecognizability. Anomaly was a 2-headed humanoid which constantly emitted high levels of all known types of ionizing radiation. The entity was sapient and demonstrated the ability to speak. However, all vocalizations were nonsensical. Decommissioned via a single bullet to each head. I wonder how they knew it was sapient then. Sentient, maybe. 055. No changes observed since last visit. Interesting. By 2066, the Foundation, through use of SCP-7000 Omega's guidance, established a small system of infrastructure among civilian encampments, Foundation facilities, production plants, and supply routes. Oracle Decision Log 6189, 2066. Problem statement. The Foundation stands unopposed, but the veil remains lifted. Response. Oracle.aic advocated for the initiation of the Ennui Protocol over civilian populations, allowing for the veil to be more conveniently established. Reconstruction efforts enhancing existing encampments to pre-2048 standards could then begin. Civilian population enters fugue state. Foundation takes control of our remaining population hubs. SCP-7000-1 commences conversion of these surviving areas into domed Foundation exclusionary sites. Oracle does so by controlling 12,000 construction drones in addition to its regular activities. Foundation begins an ongoing campaign to fold all surviving populations into these cities. I guess there are other headcanons that don't link Yellowstone to the Anhui protocol, but I thought it was destroyed. Oracle decision log 8003 2068. Problem statement. Prolonged exposure to ennui amnestics results in rising levels of amnestic resistance and amnestic sickness in the civilian population inside the exclusionary cities. Amnestics are predicted to be ineffective within 10 years. Response and outcome. Response. Oracle.aic suggests installation of cybernetic ocular implants and neuroinhibitors in the civilian population using technology developed by Anderson Robotics. Ocular implants would obfuscate the reception of remaining outside anomalous activity and objects by civilians, as well as create a realistic simulation of how the world had looked prior to the Black Moon incident, circa 2028. The neuroinhibitors enable Foundation control over civilian work, expediting reconstruction of society, as well as dampen complex thought processes and reasoning that would undermine the Foundation's goals. Combined, this would create the illusion that the incident had never occurred and normalcy had been maintained. Outcome. Installation successful. Civilian populations were added to the Oracle.aic egregore. I'm going to say that quietly so it doesn't trigger the Google. For the purposes of mass manipulation. As of 2070, the veil has been decidedly reestablished for individuals existing inside Foundation exclusionary sites, an estimated 70% of the world's remaining population. It's not very
Google's
much.
Just jealous that it's not the egregore of choice in this situation.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it is one, but yeah, that's why I responded to it. Addendum 3. On December 15th, 2098, the Second Foundation Centennial Summit will be held. The event was created as a means by which the Overseer Council, to assess the state of the Foundation, what it had achieved over the previous century, and its future. Neo Site 19 conference room. 5 individuals sit beside a large slab of black rock located at the center of the room. 0513 is situated at the table's head. Windows line the walls, offering a view of the moon and the ground below. Several Foundation exclusionary sites can be seen in the distance. 055 enters the room. So we've got 5, 13, 6, 4, and her doesn't. 8. Okay. You take odds, I'll take evens then?
Sounds good.
Yeah, there's also 10. Okay, yeah. So there's equal breakup. I mean, I guess I've been 055. I guess I'll do 055 and evens.
Yeah, 5 and 13 are main characters. 6 is saying a fair amount. 8 and 4.
And 10.
4's got some lines further down.
Yeah, 10 has some few lines.
How about I take 13, 4, and 8? They seem to have a fair bet. And then
I'll take 5, 10, and 6, and 4.
Yeah.
All right. You said you got 4.
I'm taking 4 and 8. I'm taking 4
and
8 along
okay.
with 13.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think this will be a good wrap.
I was about to apologize for my lateness, but it appears I'm not the latest by a fair margin.
Rebecca, I must be the bearer of bad news. The rest won't be coming.
Rebecca walks to the table and takes a seat. 7 remain empty. The other council members told you this.
The other council members do not exist.
Sophia, I'm not quite sure I follow. Well, I see the plan to kill her, to fill her in before the summit went swimmingly. 0513 waves her hand at 056.
Miss Dark, your comment is neither helpful nor appreciated.
Mechanical voice is emitted from 0510. His lips do not move. Agreed.
Perhaps I should elaborate. When the Black Moon incident occurred, the only survivors on the council were the previous 055, 058, 0511, and I. No one's seen nor heard from 11 in 20 years. He's still alive, but holed up in his personal fortress. 055 has passed, which leaves myself an 8.
Council glances towards 058. The old woman sits huddled in her seat, staring down at the table. She mumbles indiscernible words to herself. 056 leans across the table and whispers to 055. In case you were wondering, it's easier to just mark 8 as an abstention on any votes we hold. Her mind left some time ago.
1 died at Yellowstone trying to prepare 2000 for activation. 2 slit her own throat whilst I was on the other end of the phone. 059 turned to Fitzism in a miserable attempt to transcend, but we all know how that ended. The others died. I don't know how, but I know they died, like everything did. Ever trust a pentagram? Too many corners? In the aftermath, we did what we could. As the creator of Oracle, it was natural to offer Thomas a seat at the table in 054's position.
Oracle's creation... I thought I had 4. But you said 4. No, you did it. You did. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused.
Yeah, same. Oracle's creation was very much a team effort, Sophia. Indeed, a team you led. And then when we merged with Vincent and Lenora's respective organizations, we offered them the positions of 0510 and 056 respectively. And that was our team for a time, until the passing of your predecessor, and now you're here.
Why only bring me on board? Why not replace the other roles? 0513 turns to 054. The latter nods. 0513 pulls out an electronic device and begins to type.
Oracle. You were the first person to recommend it for the council. Your predecessor was a military man. I think you bring the same qualities he did. Bold. Straight-talking.
I've been part of the council for months. Worked with you all. And you didn't think to mention this to me? We were mentioning it to you now. Months is nothing for an overseer. 0513 stops typing.
Oracle?
Silence.
Oracle, I have a question.
Silence.
I've disabled 7000 Omega. Shall we commence the meeting?
Oracle isn't to be included in the summit discussions? 054 glances at 0513 before turning to 055.
No. The summit stipulations state only council members can partake. Whilst important, Oracle is technically not a council member.
Will the administrator at least be in attendance? The question is met by silence. I asked if...
No. No, the administrator will not be in attendance.
Why is that the case?
The administrator looked out at the world following the Black Moon incident, and he saw the destruction, the devastation, the damaged state of his beloved Foundation, with over half his hand-picked council dead. And he decided he could look upon that world no longer.
Things got tough. He threw in the towel.
You know it was not that simple.
But I've spoken to him. When I was promoted to the council, he called me directly to ask. There are annual video messages from him sent to the whole Foundation.
What you saw, who you spoke to, it was Oracle. After the howling, we didn't think what was left of us could survive knowing what happened to the administrator. He is the figurehead. We couldn't tell the survivors the administrator was gone.
You should tell her everything.
I will. I am.
What else? 055 is interrupted by a coughing sound. 058 retches and a small ball of mucus is ejected onto the table. Great.
Family business to attend to.
An 05 Hierophant, until now unseen in the shadows of the room, runs forward and wipes 058's mouth before retreating away from the table. What else is it that I need to know?
Oracle's power, its sheer capacity, is obtained in part through the thaumaturgic inscriptions. In our brains.
He taps his head.
Yeah. On our brains. There was a progenitor for this, though. When the administrator...
Would you like me to say it for you?
No, thank you, Six. The administrator had a wealth of knowledge of the Foundation, of the anomalous. And an abundance of anomalous knowledge can change you, the way your brain is wired. And that stays with you even after death. We didn't want to let that power go to waste. In the aftermath of the Howling, we couldn't afford to.
What did you do exactly?
We installed the administrator, what was left of him, into Oracle. And it worked. It worked beautifully. Oracle changed, upgraded instantaneously. It gave us a fighting chance.
The details are expunged from the logs.
In the cold light of day, we did what needed to be done. Without the administrator, Oracle would not have worked. Without Oracle, the Foundation would have collapsed. And without the Foundation, there was no hope for the remnants of humanity. Even the global reconstruction effort understood that much. At the time, we were desperate. Maybe once, but no more. It's time to shut it down.
055 turns and stares at 13. Shut down Oracle?
The Centennial Summit is held to determine the future of the Foundation, to decide if the organization is still necessary, to ask whether or not this course is sustainable. So no, Rebecca, not just Oracle. Oracle and the Foundation.
13. The Foundation is the only reason why humanity still exists right now.
You call this humanity?
The Foundation pulled me from a survivor's tribe when I was 10. I know what the absence of humanity is.
Rebecca, blind loyalty is dispensive at our rake for good reason. Look at those cities, filled to the brim with human cattle. It's an attempt to cling to what we once had.
Living in an exclusionary city is better than living in the Blightlands. In the wild, having to fight for yourself, not knowing what'll come next. They're happy in those cities.
They can't be anything else.
The Foundation succeeded. To anyone in those cities, the veil had never fallen. The Howling had never occurred. We did the impossible and contained the Black Moon.
Then why does the sky still bleed? We didn't contain anything, Rebecca. It's more like we wrapped a bandage made of amnestics and synapse switchers over it. Oracle's directive was to uphold the Foundation, but at some point, what was best for us was not best for the world. Bandages never truly stem the bleeding. That requires devotion.
055 turns to the rest of the council. Won't any of you say something? This is madness.
We categorically have not contained the Black Moon. If anything, I fear worse is still to come. We've never proven the cause of the Black Moon incident, but I have my theories. We know the Black Blight wasn't in the moon naturally. The Foundation conducted plenty of tectonic studies prior to 2048, and there was nothing to indicate its existence.
How does this relate to Oracle?
Let me finish. We also know that the Black Moon was connected to the database corruption. Vincent and I have been researching this, and we don't think the Black Moon caused the database corruption. We believe it was the other way around. The Foundation caused the moon to bleed.
That's not possible. In 2048, SCIPnet was the greatest repository of information on the anomalous ever created. To bring together that knowledge into one place, to combine all that power in zeros and ones, and to leave it there together. The database corruption, the Black Moon, it is all connected.
I developed my suspicions decades ago after installing the administrator. It's like I said, an abundance of anomalous knowledge can change you. And we're making the same mistake again, except this time housing that information inside the world's most powerful AI. I created Oracle. The machine is my life's work. It was designed to help us survive the worst catastrophe mankind had ever experienced. But we use it now to tell us how to live. We've become dependent on it.
I always admired the Foundation, even prior to joining you. An adamant pursuit of knowledge and scientific research. But under Oracle, that aspect of our work had been quashed. Look at the design of our cities. We yearn for the past instead of facing the future. 056 stands from her chair and gestures towards the landscape seen through the window. Do we really think this is the best possible future for humanity? Stagnated livestock in a global containment chamber? We haven't detected new anomalies since before the Howling. The old ones are dead, rotting away in the Blightlands. But what happens without Oracle? What happens when people begin to starve to death? Or when the inhibitors shut down? When the cities open up and they realize their lives are a lie? Without the Foundation, how will they get resources? I spent my career rescuing survivors from the Blightlands. I don't want to damn them again.
Humanity's greatest strength is our adaptability, our ability to make our own path. They will find a way. The hydroponic farms in each city are now active. Oracle isn't needed to keep them running. It's time to give people back what we took from them.
We should at least ask Oracle what it...
No, enough is enough. This is our decision to make.
You're suicidal. You're damning everyone if you do this. It's genocide. Why are none of you...
Rebecca!
0513 calmly stands from her chair and walks over to 055. She takes her hand.
When the Foundation found you, scared and alone on the banks of the Mississippi River in the shadow of SCP-3000, you were not there because of Oracle. It was luck. Luck in your own ingenuity. No scripted event, no problem statement and response. You survived. As a member of the Foundation, you've made your own choices, excelled in what you do, done your best to protect others. It's time we gave everyone the chance to do the same.
Sophia, this is the only world I've ever known. Even without the Foundation, we still have an obligation to help these people. If we're going to pull the rug out from underneath them and say that we were wrong to put it there in the first place, imagine how that will make them feel. If you're admitting fault, you're admitting that we stole their lives. I put so many people in those cities knowing I was doing the right thing. How am I supposed to suddenly feel remorse? I know we were doing the right thing.
I know, but I promise you, another world is possible. This will not be an end, but a beginning. You'll have free reign to help who you want, regardless of mission briefing arriving in your inbox.
0513 lets go of 055's hand and returns to her seat.
Initiate vote.
Electronic screens from the table, one in front of each council member. The screens flicker to life. Each displays a single sentence. Shut down Oracle. Dissolve the Foundation. Below the directive, 3 options, yay, abstain, or nay, are illuminated in a slight glow. 054, 056, 0510, 0513 all vote. 055 finger hovers in front of the screen.
This is your call, Rebecca. The vote needs to be unanimous. I've said all I...
The 05s turn to 058.
This whole charade has run for far too long. Maria, is that you? So focused on the how, we forgot about the why.
0513 stands and makes her way around the table to 058.
Maria.
058 forcefully presses the screen in front of her. Her finger lands on the affirmative vote. She stares at 055.
The decisions hardest to make are often the most frightening.
058's gaze drifts, falling to her lap. She resumes mumbling. 055 votes. Got yay, abstain, or nay. There's 051 is abstain. 052 is abstain. 053 is abstain. 054, 055, and 056 are yays. 057 abstains. 058 is a yay. 059 abstains. 0510 is a yay. 0511, 0512 abstain, and 0513 is a yay. Motion passes.
Former council members, it's been an honor.
054 rises from his seat and shakes the hand of all those in the room and then leaves. He is followed by 056, 0510, and 058, the latter guarded by our Hierophants. 0513 addresses them.
I'll come see her tonight, my usual time.
Soon, just 055 and 0513 are left in the room.
I'm proud of you.
Excuse me?
What you did today was not easy. I do not underestimate the difficulty you faced. I did try and warn you, though, but I recall you saying something about not having time to read.
055 chuckles, her hair giving way to a period of prolonged silence. After giving way to a period, prolonged silence between the pair. Sophia?
Yes, Rebecca?
What happens now?
I don't know.
She pauses, then smiles.
And that, my friend, is the point.
Ah. Interesting. I like the whole thing it's good. There's a few parts where it's like I feel like they started a sentence and then ended on a different sentence. Like they just need to like go back, and there's a lot of text here. It's a long one, so it's like some mistakes are expected. However, it has been slotted for some time now, so you should get on that, author. The whole thing's cool though. I like the visual, like the moon, like breaking and bleeding all over everything. I don't really understand how it is. Like, I get that they're like, oh yeah, all this anomalous documents caused it, but like, how? Is it like a representation for like redaction or something? Like, I don't know.
I wonder how the database corruption made the moon bleed.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know, like how it linked to that. I'm looking at the.
Made all the anomalies non-anomalous, partially non-anomalous.
Yeah. I'm looking at the discussion to see if there's a breakdown by the author, but not really. I will say I was kind of lukewarm on it until we got to the subterfuge stuff. Then I was like, okay, all right, here we go. I liked some of the parts earlier on, like the politician talking, and like it's cool. Like I said, cool visual.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. The high concept is weird and doesn't really mesh for me either. Like the database corrupting, being the Black Moon, but all of the ground level stuff, like installing the administrator's brain and the reveal of that, because they set it up early by redacting.
Yeah, I had a problem with that. Like, I was like, why are they redacting stuff after the veil has been lifted? It doesn't make any sense. That makes sense, in retrospect. Go ahead.
Like certain things, like eating the leftover 3000, making you glitch like a staticky television.
Yeah, I was expecting like 3930 or something causing that, but
yeah, because I mean, I can imagine that you start eating the meat of 3000, you're gonna forget everything. That just makes sense. But
maybe it's like it's an amnestic, like an anti-memetic effect that rubs off on them because they're consuming it. Like they're not actually gone, but everyone else perceives them as static. Maybe, I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
That would be, if I had to justify it, that would be how I would do so. One thing I thought was interesting is that they're like, oh yeah, this has like an unlimited amount of processing power, and then they're like, oh yeah, there's unlimited storage and processing power, and this is a reconstruction of the network and the database, and then they're like, oh well, we actually don't have enough to run Oracle on. I thought it was like limitless, like you just allocate space for that, but it's a small thing. It's anomalous technology, whatever.
If you want the subterfuge in the plans, pretty dope of Oracle to let itself be shut down.
I was expecting some sort of like, HAL 9000 situation. We can't let you do that. No. So I mean, it's an upvote for me for sure. If you want to read a good SCP about database corruptions and redactions spreading throughout the SCP files, check out SCP-3959, The End of All Knowledge by Billith. It's good. Also, Site-01 is the archive that holds all the data. Why do they need another site? I don't get it. I would have liked it if they were like, SCP-7000 is Site-01. I think that would have been good, because it already exists. But there is no canon. Who cares?
Both the Bleeding Moon and that database image are really dope.
Yeah, that's a very good render. The data core, it's cool stuff. It's got a definitely like a almost admonition vibe. It's like close to it, but not quite. Very cool. Good work, Disadron,
And Dune. J Dude's the
and
co-author on that.
J Dune. Good job, J Dune. Good work.
Go team.
Perfect. All right. Next one.
SCP-7075 by Red.
Are we doing an ad break?
We are doing an ad break. Get confused by all of the crashes and comebacks, but here we are. We survive.
Totally
Bam, ad break.
acceptable.
A tree tried to kill Dr. Cimmerian and it missed. We are rounding up all the saplings using the expanded butterfly net. They are going to live in a dark basement where they will not get light.
Yes, absolutely. And I know fall is coming, and I know everyone wants apple cider and apple picking and all that stuff, but we're gonna have to not. There will not be any apple trees. We are fully exclusive to trees, but we are including all trees. So all trees are gone. Equal opportunity destruction.
Burn, baby, burn.
Sapling Inferno.
Sapling Inferno. Nice. Ooh, it looks like we got some donos to Hymns from the Road, at least during the stream. That's gone up a fair bit.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Very happy to see them all reach their goals. It's great. Keep it coming.
I look forward to seeing what the Hymns from the Road turns out to be, as well as all of the somersaults that Radd has to do because of it.
Yes, indeed. That'll be a sight to see.
You're going to an orchard on Sunday? There won't be any trees. Come on.
No. Okay, if you let us know specifically which orchard and which trees you'll be picking from, maybe we'll make an exception, but you have to submit it within the next 2 hours, I would say.
That is the benefit of being a Site 42 patron. You get to pick you get a little bit of influence on the order of which the trees are destroyed.
Once you're done, the tree's done too.
Exactly. Turn in your documents to the email address. Make sure it's all dotted I's and crossed T's. Otherwise, we can't help you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
enjoy the orchard.
42 patron, you get priority tree, prioritizing tree destruction rates.
Yeah. Yes. You get to pick a plot of land, and instead of planting a tree there, we preserve the tree that's there for a set period of time until we let the drones at it with the flamethrowers and the chainsaws and the butterfly nets.
And for every subscriber to Billith on Twitch, we will plant not a real tree, but a synthetic tree, a robotic tree, to replace it so that we still get to enjoy the look of trees without their damn murderous intent.
Absolutely. I'm sure metal trees will not cause any accidents whatsoever. And we're pretty confident about that. We've been testing the trees. We've been throwing sticks at it. We had a big fan, and we let it loose on the tree. It didn't move. So we're pretty confident that... what was that? Oh, earthquakes. Right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
At all.
All links to our different support links are in the description. Ad break complete.
Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
What is the title of 7075 for us?
Let's see. Gotta find the iteration that has a back button. There we go. 7075, correct?
Uh-huh.
Twins in quotation marks. Twins.
All right. All right, we got some interview logs. We got...
It's a short one.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Right.
It's a lot of F words in this one. Cool.
Oh boy. All right, let's have some fun. Item number SCP-7075. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-7075-A and SCP-7075-B are to be kept inside a single enlarged chamber together. Only separate them when required for testing. Instructions for administering the modified Zener cards can be found in Document 7075-A, which will be given to assigned personnel. Approve any requests for intelligence-based items, board games, books of riddles, etc., which may aid in testing. Likewise, deny any requests which may hinder. Containment update. Increase the rate of testing to 4 times a week with a focus on enhancing emotive and superconscious abilities. Subjects possess suicidal and homicidal ideation, but both state that their desires are manageable. Believe them until proven otherwise. Description. SCP-7075 was an unknown individual who was subject to an occult ritual. This ritual was meant to transform it into a gestalt entity of great psychic influence, but instead split it into 2 sapient humanoids, designated SCP-7075-A and SCP-7075-B. These 2 humanoids share a very potent psychological bond. Either one is able to instantly, and often involuntarily, transmit sensory information, ideas, and associations to the other with an approximately 0.009% accuracy. Footnote. With typical levels of mental activity, this equates to around 5,500 conscious and subconscious thoughts per day. Therefore, by all known metrics, SCP-7075-A and SCP-7075-B possess the most powerful telepathic connection ever recorded by the SCP Foundation. Research has shown that their telepathy has some conscious component which can be strengthened through mental exercises and tests of will. Researchers are encouraged to speak to their supervisors regarding the specifics. SCP-7075-A is a 1.8 meter tall male. It is thin, malnourished, and weak, having performed poorly during every one of its medical evaluations. It has paranoid tendencies and can sometimes fall into uncooperative or even hostile moods during testing, but it has yet to attack a researcher. A common delusion it suffers from is that SCP-7075-B or its caretakers are trying to harm it in some way. To ease this, researchers are encouraged to act more casually with SCP-7075-A than they usually would with SCPs. SCP-7075-A has extensive scarring across its face and torso, which is indicative of ritual sacrification. SCP-7075-A will occasionally have episodes where it bleeds from these scars for anywhere from 5 minutes to 2.5 hours. When asked why this happens, SCP-7075-A has stated that it, quote, does not know and does not care, end quote. Examination has shown that this bleeding is visual only. It does not suffer any real harm during its episodes. SCP-7075-B is a 1.54 meter tall female. It appears to be far larger and heavier than SCP-7075-A, and its limbs are particularly bloated compared to the rest of its body, lacking coloration in certain spots and sagging at the joints. Little is known about SCP-7075-B's personality since it has refused to speak to many researchers. However, it has shown a liking towards a very select few, the names of whom are included in Document 7075-A. It has sometimes spoken to SCP-7075-A when it believes that they are not being listened to. SCP-7075-A and SCP-7075-B are fraternal twins.
Very low accuracy.
Say again?
The very low accuracy. I mean, I know it probably meant the other way around, but the 0.0009% accuracy, that's low accuracy.
Yeah, I was going to wonder about that, yeah. Assorted experiment interview logs, February 9th redacted to, September 2nd redacted to October 19th redacted. Interview log. Interviewer, senior researcher redacted. Interviewee, SCP-7075-A. You want to take the anomaly?
Sure.
Could you describe what you see when you get a transmission?
I don't see much. They go by so fast and I'm only able to catch a few words most of the time. Sometimes I think I get a smell. I get these bits and pieces that are all blended together into the soup in my head. It's like if there was a tiger on the other side of the room growling really, really, really low. Sometimes it comes closer and sometimes it goes away, but it's always there.
But it was different in the deprivation tank.
Oh yeah. Jesus fucking Christ! What do you guys do to these things? I thought I was doing something like that a while ago with with a t-shirt and this kiddie pool, but I got really fucking scared at the last second and freaked out. I felt the same here, but everything was a lot more calm. Couldn't feel my face. It's fucking incredible.
You remember what you saw?
A little bit, yeah. When it started, I was like upside down and I was floating and looking down at this black ocean. My eyes were messed up. Like, I knew for some reason that I wasn't looking at the ocean. I was looking at a really big sphere of water, like a floating mass kind of thing. But I saw a circle. It was this flat circle like a flag, and it made me really scared. I tried to look somewhere else, but I couldn't move my head. My whole body felt limp. I felt this really loud, distorted roar in my right ear. It was like a lion was screaming through its. No, it wasn't an animal scream. It was like, I don't know, something more primal.
Something more primal than an animal.
I don't know, man. It was really fucked. I'm sorry. I don't know how to describe it. It fucked with me.
A separate interview log. Same interviewer and interviewee. So you don't have the best relationship with your sister. That's a very normal experience for kids your age.
I don't hate her or anything. She's really like, I don't want to say a rude word.
You're allowed to call her a bitch if that's how you really feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess she is. She thinks she's better than everyone else.
What makes you say that?
The way she acts, the way she thinks. She eats a lot of my food and she's mean to people and she's a really big weight on everything. She used to be nice when we were first created, but now every day is a slog. I hate talking to her. I don't like feeling that like that, but because we're connected, but I do. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize, David. That's a perfectly normal reaction to have, especially cooped up in a place like this 24 hours a day. Another interview, same interviewee, same interviewer.
I had a dream last night. Could I talk about that?
If you want to, sure.
Thanks. I think it was the same thing as last time with my on the floor in the kitchen. This time I wasn't looking through my eyes though. I was looking through my mom's. I was saying all the same shit, but now I could feel what she was feeling, what I think she was feeling when I was saying it.
What was she thinking?
She wasn't really thinking anything at all. I couldn't catch any words or anything, but I knew she was feeling blue. She was the most blue I'd ever seen. It wasn't like an ocean blue and an aquarium blue. It was a lot more intense. Made me want to puke. It was so burning in my eyes and my stomach.
Maybe it was something medical. You said she had seizures sometimes, didn't you? That could be how she was feeling when it came on.
No, man. It wasn't anything like that.
Alright, sorry. Sorry, what did it feel like?
It was so sad and cold and lonely. I felt the blue everywhere around me, no matter how much I shut my eyes. My eyelids weren't even black anymore. The longer I looked at me on the floor, the more I wanted to collapse. I wanted to die. I didn't want to be there anymore. I felt so disappointed in myself and like pissed at the world for fucking doing this to me. I had no fucking clue why I, of all people, was chosen to suffer through this. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And I felt really bad when I woke up. I stopped drinking a while ago because of some other shit with one of my friends. But if I could have felt that, I would have stopped earlier. I fucking hate it so much. It fucking disgusts me, man.
What happened with your friend?
Could you take me back to my room, please? I'm fucked up right now. I'm fucked. I'm done.
Interview log. Senior researcher Redacted and 7075-B. Forward. Subject expressed a sudden interest in being interviewed, but would not give a reason why. Request was approved. Before we cut into this, can I ask why you wanted to be interviewed all of a sudden? Is there something that happened recently?
No.
Okay. Do you have a request you'd like to make? Something for your room?
I see. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm choosing to do it now. I don't give a shit anymore. If you need to kill me to do it, I'd like to be drowned or shot in the head. Maybe poisoned, but however you want to do it is fine. I don't know how David wants to do it, but he feels the same way. Just do it before I change my mind.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I didn't expect that in all honesty. Are you. Do you think you're depressed? If you are, we have some things that could help you. Everyone in here can get a little crazy sometimes.
What? You don't have to talk like that. I said I don't give a shit. You can fucking kill me already.
So I understand how you're feeling right now, and I want you to know that it's a very normal thing for people like you, but suicide is never a rational response. Not in any circumstance, okay?
You're such a cruel piece of shit. I know what you want. I can see his thoughts, dumbass. I know what the fuck you're trying to tell me. I don't care. I'm not gonna run or try and kill one of you, take your guns. I don't give a shit. I don't have any more reasons to stay alive.
Oh, come on. You know that's not why you two are here. You have plenty of reasons to live. You still have your brother, don't you? You're just as powerful a telepath as he is. Without you, he's useless. He's just another guy walking down the street. Your existence alone makes him one of the most important people in history. You two shatter every rule of science, every rule of psychology, metaphysics. You shatter everything, every day. You two being born is one of the most consequential events in all of human history. Doesn't that excite you? Doesn't that make you happy? We still don't know the full extent of your own capabilities. You could gain even more control over your mind than he can. Assorted experiment interview logs. May 14th, redacted. To June 7th, redacted. Experiment log. Administrator and subjects. Senior researcher redacted. 775 or 7075-A. Senior researcher redacted presents a card containing a cartoon drawing of an elephant.
Fuck. I don't know.
Senior researcher redacted presents a card containing a photograph of a dangerously malnourished child.
I don't know.
Your sister is thinking of ending her life.
Is this part of the test?
It's important. Your sister wants either you or her to die. I know she's been considering it for a long time. When did it start?
I don't really know what you're talking about. If she ever thought about doing, I never caught it.
Bullshit. You can't lie to me when your sister's on suicide watch. I need to know when this started, David.
I'm not lying. I don't know shit, man. I don't want to know about stuff like that. I got my own shit to worry about.
Like what?
Like fucking these tests, man. I'm gonna get better at this. I want to, fucking help humanity or some shit. If she wants to fucking die, that's her business. I don't care. Get her a therapist or something.
You can't turn your back on her, David. She's your sister. She's family. You have to look out.
Older sister.
Okay, yes, older sister, but she's family.
I don't give a shit if she's family. She's older than me. I shouldn't have to take care of her.
I'm saying that strictly speaking, you're still the man of the house, even if she is older. You should recognize that.
Stop trying to make me have a relationship with her. I don't fucking care. She can't do anything to me.
That's not what...
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Senior researcher redacted presents a card containing a photograph of the portrait of Henry VIII by Hans Holbein. What do you think this one is? Interview log. Senior researcher redacted. Subject 7075-B.
You should fucking kill yourself. If you want to help me, that's what you should do. It's the only thing that David thinks about.
I know that's not true.
No, you fucking don't.
Do you think you're getting anywhere acting like this? Do you think that if you say bitch or whore 500 times we'll release you? What was that?
Fuck you, you should.
We should do a lot of things, but we don't do that. You need to stop being such a brat. We let some anomalies live normal lives, but you're never going to get there acting like this.
Yeah, because I'm never going to get there at all.
Don't say that.
Shut your dumb ass up, bitch. I'm going to fucking kill him when I get back to my cell. I don't give a shit. I'm going to kill him and I'm going to kill you.
Sarah, you've said...
Shut up.
Sarah. Interview log. Senior Researcher Redacted. 7075-A.
What did she do?
Why do you think this is about her? I wanted to talk to you.
No, you don't. I just do what you want. The only reason you talk to me anymore is because you want to know how to get her to stop being insane.
It's a pretty cruel thing to say, David. I mean, I've answered all the questions you've given me, haven't I? I'm not lying to you.
Is this a good place?
What?
Do you think you're working for a good organization?
Oh, well, I can't exactly say yes, can I? We keep people in boxes. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to be a glorified zookeeper, but most of the time I get people. People like you. I have to feed you, I have to bathe you, I have to make sure that you don't take your own life in here. I do really bad stuff on a daily basis so that people that were lucky enough to be born normal aren't harmed. What does that make me?
An asshole.
You could say that. But somebody has to do what I do. Humanity would have died hundreds of times if we didn't exist. Women, David, women and children would have all died. You would have never existed, nor your mom or dad or any of your grandparents. The reason they do is because there's men like me doing what I'm doing. Let me tell you something before I go. There are a lot of researchers here. There are a lot of people that would like to work with you specifically, and not all of them are as nice as me. Not all of them are willing to talk to you like this. They treat you like a dog. They treat your sister even worse. She'd be actually insane if I wasn't here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Interview log with 7075-B. Tell me why then. You've got 30 seconds.
Because you're supposed to help me? You're supposed to fucking back me up when I tell you things, not sit there and do nothing like you're a fucking bitch.
I've told you 5 times already. I'm telling you for the 6th time now. That is not my job. I'm not your therapist. I'm not here to make you feel better about yourself. I'm here to train you. This, everywhere I'm doing with you, is to give you a stronger connection with your brother. I don't care what happened between you two before you got here, but you've got to get rid of that right now.
I'm not doing your fucking experiments. I'm not a fucking animal.
When did I say any of that? Any of that? You're not even listening to what I'm saying at this point.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. Your brother likes me because he knows that I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm here to do a job. I want you to dump all of this out on me because at the end of the day, I'll forget about it. You can try and hide all you want, but you're unlucky enough to be born with a megaphone in your head. So you have 2 paths. You can either hurt someone you really care about, or you can hurt me, the person who's asking for it. And right now it seems like you want to hurt him. Am I wrong? Okay, I'll see. I'll come back another day when you're ready to take responsibility for yourself.
Fuck you.
Assorted experiment interview logs. June 30th redacted to December 3rd redacted.
Okay.
Audio log. Interviewer-A, interviewee-B.
Cool.
Approximately 1800 hours, 12 minutes. While Dash A and Dash B were eating dinner, they had a brief conversation.
It's a real piece of shit thing to fucking say. Could you be quiet? Jesus fucking Christ, can you shut up? You know that's all horseshit. I'm sorry, but it's so fucking annoying to listen to you fucking ramble on for ages about shit that's so obviously untrue. I swear, when are you going to give up on your fucking image? You overthink what you are to the point where you cripple yourself because you know that if you ever tried to actually live as yourself, you'd never be able to be as great as you are in your head. It's fucking stupid. The issue isn't me, it's that stupid image. Just be you. Be my fucking brother and we'll be fine. They're lying to you. They're going to betray you, put you in a fucking coma first chance they get. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. Shut the fuck up. We're both fucking powerless here. SCP-75.
SCP-7075-B begins to cry.
You're so fucking stupid. I hate you. Why the fuck am I chained to you? Because we're amoebas. Amoebas. There's literally nothing we can do, you know? If we were captured by aliens or by the army or something, there'd at least be a small chance we could get out. But here, not here. That's what's fucking weird. We're actually completely fucked. We're going to fucking die. They're Nazis. You want to be a hero in the eyes of fucking Nazis? Yeah, I know. Then why are you still going with them? Because there's nothing else out there, man. We're fucked. People living out in the cities and the suburbs and the kids and the teenagers, they're all so fucked. There's so many monsters in the world. Can't even imagine how many things want to kill us. There's so many monsters, and now that we know about them, they're going to kill us if we leave. We're fucked either way, so we might as well pick a side that won't shoot us. They're not going to kill us. That's just bullshit they tell you to make you scared. Even if there is that much, we can fight them. We can do shit. You can do shit. You could make it out. Yeah, but we won't, though. We're fucking idiots. We've got ghosts and snipers in the FBI. They can kill us wherever we are. We can't even go to space. We've got guys up there, too. They've got guys at the bottom of the ocean. Do you know how big they actually are? Do you know how many times the world ended and they just didn't know about it because they won't tell us? I'm not some fucking guy I was when I was born with, Sarah. And you weren't the same girl. Don't fucking cry. I'm not gonna cry. If you cry, then I'm gonna cry. I hate you so fucking much. I wish you just do this. I could just do this alone. Why the fuck am I attached to you? Why can't I do it myself? I don't care. You deserve whatever the fuck they do to you. I don't care. I'm right. You're choosing the Nazis over your own family. You're pathetic. I hate you.
Interview log, A and B again.
Great. I remember my dream. Yeah. I dreamed I was in a small town by the coast and they had these weird representatives, kind of. There were 50 of them because of the 50 states. I was the one for Rhode Island, but I was also the sheriff. I think I was a serial killer too. The whole time I was killing all these people, I cut up this one old lady and I got shot. And I shot these 3 people on this boat. And there was the whole time I was scared because I thought the police were going to come for me. They figured you out, didn't they? Yeah, I think they did. I killed everyone except for one other person because I knew if I was the last one standing, they knew I was the killer. So I kept one other person with me. I thought that would stop them from questioning me, but one day I was working and this guy came in who I was friends with years ago. Unintelligible. I don't think he really existed. It's my brain's way of talking to me. He called me over and asked to talk privately and asked me what I was doing that night, and I kind of started to cry. I don't know why you'd feel guilty over all that. Just don't talk. They have nothing to use against you. I don't know. I felt awful because they fucking got him. They fucking got him. Last time I saw him, I felt like I understood him, and now I couldn't tell at all what he was. I thought he'd try to relate to me or coax it out of me or have a heart-to-heart, but he fucking slapped me with it. I don't know what I did wrong to him. You didn't do anything. Guys are just like that sometimes. Am I a bad person? I think everyone's a bad person.
Interview log. Senior Researcher Redacted and 7075-B. Oh, hell fucking yes you do. Do you know how incredible it is that you and your brother are alive? Your existence alone disproves half of science. Your existence disproves almost every single philosophical theory developed in the last 300 years. I mean, do you even understand how fucking unbelievably rude what you just said was?
Shut up, bitch.
Do you even know who Carl Jung is? Do you know what the collective...
Shut up, fucking slut.
Unconscious is? It is the foundation for the entire field of psychology. It is the linchpin. It is the only fucking thing keeping it together, and you and your brother prove that it exists. Not as some sociological thing or useful idea, but a real, tangible, physical thing you can interact with. You can touch it. You can beat the shit out of it if you want. Does that not make you happy? Does the knowledge that you are actually the center of the universe not enough for you because you get bored sometimes?
You're a fucking whore, pig, hillbilly, skimp whore. You're so fucking useless compared to me. You should kill yourself.
A short screeching sound. All right, I'm done here. Go back to your cell.
I don't wanna.
I don't care.
Guessing the short screeching sound was a chair, maybe?
I assume it was chair legs.
Yeah.
Experiment log. Interviewer. None. Interviewee 7075-A. Forward. Senior researcher Redacted was unavailable. In his place, an automated interviewer conducted the experiment. Machine presents a sheet of paper which contains the words Lunwig Gibbons written 89 times in number 2 pencil.
I don't know. Paper and something.
Machine presents a sheet of printer paper which contains 2 numbers. The approximate number of natural births occurring at the moment and the approximate number of natural deaths occurring at the same time per SCP Foundation data collected that week.
Man, don't show me that shit.
More silence. Please give an answer, even if you are not sure.
It's nothing.
Machine presents a photograph of the Earth taken from the moon's surface. Silence. Audio log, -A and -B.
Why are you so pissed off? It's not about you. Yeah, it is. How do you know? Because it's always about me. Also, we're telepathic. I hate the things you make me think about. I want to be good. I really want to be a good person. I want to be like my dad. So fucking lucky to have this gift. You can't even fucking imagine. I want to help so many fucking people. I don't care if I ever get a girlfriend or a private life or anything. I don't fucking care. I just want to make sure that the kids who don't have a fucking thing don't get fucked. I'm so scared they're gonna die, but I can't do shit because I'm stuck with you. Fucking you. You and your stupid fucking whining, and you're trying to be the victim here. And both fucking victims. You're in the same boat. We're stuck in the same fucking circle. And yeah, I know this guy is gonna fuck with me, but he's in a circle too, and he's just trying to do his best. He's got a boss. His boss has got a boss, and that boss has got a boss. They're fucking each other all the way down, and I got a chance to ignore that shit and just be a good guy. So I don't fucking care. We're not in the same boat. You're such a bitch. No, I'm not. Why can't you just help me? Because it's not the right thing to do. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I don't fucking care. Well, I don't either. Okay.
Story end.
It did. It did. It ended. It had an end. Okay, so like weird things notwithstanding. The researcher was acting very unprofessional throughout the conversations. And he's trying to encourage -B, look at how great your gift is, but the gift is the reason why they're there. I can't imagine someone with that disposition looking at it in a positive way with that method. And I don't know. So, one, I don't like that the -A is oh man, I'm in this. Why did the world do this to me? But it did a thaumaturgic ritual or something to become a collective consciousness. You kind of should have seen something potentially happening negatively from that. Two, luck. I'm not really seeing the luck here. Is it the probability of their the accuracy? I guess the author's trying to say they are unlucky, they're unlucky that they ended up in this situation, but also don't cast weird rituals on yourself. I don't know. Um,
So this
Also,
is.
yeah, go ahead.
Or go ahead. You go. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say the accuracy thing. Is it that it's only 0.009%? Because they didn't really have much like there's a lot of times where like they're talking back and forth when they really should know what the other person was gonna say. If it's within 99.991%, then they're not listening to each other. But if it's the other way around, I think that they're overhyping their abilities. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I'm able to like detect people that I'm close with. I can guess what they're going to say in greater than 0.0009%, 0.009%. It's pretty, you know. Anyway, there's a lot of little things. It's a death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, there's. I feel like it's because there's no event. There's no like action here. It's just meant to be like a character piece basically between these three people who
Two of
don't
which
like
are
each other.
unbearable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, what was the thing about it, dash A bleeding? Like it has like fake, like the visual
I think
bleeding
that
of their scarification wounds.
Yeah, it said the blood was purely visual, and what I think that means is it's purely superficial.
Like stigmata.
Yeah.
Got it.
That would be my interpretation.
But also, like, what's the point of that? What is that like? What is the significance of that? And it also, why, if it happens, why is it never brought up again?
Yeah, this sounds like with the what sounds like a sacrifice. All right, so hold on, because because even in the description I was confused because 7075 is an unknown individual who was split in two by the ritual, but then they're also fraternal twins.
That is another thing, yeah.
And there's the.
And of course, the dash B is a little weird too, like the description.
Say again.
Oh, the dash B, like the description of the dash B was kind of odd too. It felt like some like a random stuff kind of put in there, like it's bloated on its limbs compared to the rest of its body, and it's lacking coloration in certain spots. Just seems like a lot of
this article feels like only the uninteresting parts of a story that's probably very interesting.
Like, we want to know more about
with the sacrifice.
Yeah. I was thinking that same thing. Yeah, totally.
But then all we get hit with instead is the like just knockout, drag out arguments of this researcher and these two people who do not want to cooperate with the Foundation or each other.
Yeah, and it's clear that they keep talking about wanting to die, and then they're gonna kill you. Like, isn't that like, what are your priorities? And your messaging's a little off.
And A wants to join the Foundation a la 4051 and like do helpful things, but B absolutely does not want to do that because it thinks that the Foundation are Nazis.
Right.
And A can't do it without B, so they're just stuck.
Yeah, and like the thing about the sensory deprivation tank and like the way that he was feeling with his like seeing his mother, like they're telepathic to other things as well, or are they just telepathic with each other? And
I feel like there's enough details here that, like, on a surface reading of 3999, you could see it as just a bunch of gibberish if you just like read it surface level and you don't dig very deep. But once you dig into it, you're like, oh, a lot of this means things, and it means X, Y, and Z, and it's structured like this, and it gets very interesting. I feel like I'm reading 3999, but I can't breach it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get the point of the experiments either. Like, are they trying to do like it's kind of like remote viewing, maybe? Like they're trying to get the other twin to guess what the one twin is looking at or something, but it's only with one person at a time.
Which
it's
is
not
the
very
standard psychic card test, like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of individual components here, but they are all kind of dissonant from each other. Is my final thoughts.
Yeah,
and I feel kind of dirty having read all those curse words, and like I don't like cursing as much as the next guy, but that was a little excessive. Even the researcher was getting in on it.
Yeah, especially when the researcher like hits that last log. It's like, oh wow, you just like are all the way fucking in now.
Yeah.
Man.
That was a thing.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh.
I can't downvote it because everything is confident, but I cannot upvote it because I did not enjoy it or get it.
Look at the info box at the top.
Info box at the top.
Yeah, next to the rating module. The I.
You mentioned murder, suicide, other dark themes. Not an enjoyable read. Bad vibes.
Not an enjoyable read. I concur.
Well, not all games are supposed to be fun. Not all art's supposed to be fun.
I guess so. Oh, yeah, instructions for missing the Xenia cards. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, they're trying to get each other to guess the things on the cards. And then the machine was like... It sounded like the dash A kind of like did know what the values were that the machine was like printing out, but just didn't want to cooperate, which I thought you would want to if you were trying to work for the Foundation. Whatever. I have a lot of feelings about this article. I'm gonna move on. Let's move on.
Certainly made us feel something.
Yes, it's right in my spleen or something. It's just like throbbing, I don't know, burning sensation. I don't know. Anywho, on to the next one. What do we got?
SCP-7490 by Strange Matter.
Okay. 7490 is have faith and take some chances.
Wow, this is the widest format possible.
Oh.
All right, almost got it to fit.
Well, at least it's... Man. Where's the scroll bar? Hold on. Oh, it's so tiny and hard to see. Okay.
All right. Oh, I just saw a cameo from the Vulcan.
Oh.
Dr. Miller, at least.
Ah.
All right, from the top. Item number. Oh, what's the title on this one?
I just said it was have faith. What is it? What's it called? Have faith and take some chances.
Gotcha. That's what I missed while I was scrolling because you said the scroll bar was really long and I was like, oh god, it is. Item number SCP-7490, classification level 4, secret, containment class Euclid, disruption class Kennick, risk class Danger, special containment procedures. SCP-7490 is to be detained within a Type 2 large humanoid containment unit in sub-level 4 at Site-39. Scranton reality anchor devices have been installed in each corner of the containment chamber to regulate fluctuations of SCP-7490's property. No personnel is permitted to enter the containment chamber or the 15-meter exclusion zone that encompasses SCP-7490's area of effect. Interviews conducted with SCP-7490 are to be held with Dr. Tony Carmichael and Assistant Researcher Dr. Jessica Miller. Okay, so it's not Vulcan Miller. through a video conference from the secure observation room. This applies to the weekly sessions with psychologist Dr. Connor Quinn. SCP-7490 is provided 3 grade B meals daily. When SCP-7490 is to be brought for testing, a Scranton reality anchor on a flat dolly with 3 armed on-site guards are to transport the subject to testing Block 6 in Sub-Level 3. Description: SCP-7490 is a 27-year-old humanoid Caucasian female, formerly known as Agent Felicia Mallory, who was a tactical response officer stationed with Gamma 9. Originally, it was thought that SCP-7490's anomalous capabilities can cause events harmful to human life in its surrounding area. The range and severity of these events can change drastically and without warning. Footnote: ranging from minor malfunctions within paraphernalia to tragic events. The distance of SCP-7490's anomalous properties fluctuates from a typical 5-meter radius to site-wide, perhaps greater if not cautious. See Test 7490-3 by Dr. Carmichael. The effects of SCP-7490 typically take within a 24-hour time frame and has not exceeded that. Currently, there are no feasible methods of undoing, delaying, and preventing these effects. As of August 28, 2013, SCP-7490 can cause favorable outcomes to anyone within its surrounding area. See Incident 74903 in Addendum 4. SCP-7490 is not able to control the condition of said effects or the moment when they occur. SCP-7490 is also not impervious to its anomaly, regardless if it were harmful or beneficial. The condition of SCP-7490, be it physical, mental, or emotional, dictates and alter its effects. Addendum 1. Inciting Incidents. On September 12, 2013, Mobile Task Force Gamma 9, codenamed Fire Eaters, was deployed as part of Operation Daisy Cutter. Footnote: Operation Daisy Cutter was a mission to search and destroy active nearby Chaos Insurgency checkpoints, as well as recover any intel regarding the group of interest and any anomalous objects or entities they may have had at their disposal. To retrieve UA-620, footnote, undesignated anomaly, that was in the custody of Group of Interest 006, codename Chaos Insurgency. During their return to Site-39 with UA-620, they were ambushed by members of the Chaos Insurgency's Alpha Group. An emergency SOS was sent out from the transport vehicle, and a recovery team had been sent to that location. The recovery team noted the disappearance of UA-620, damaged vehicles, and the deaths of all 18 Chaos Insurgency militants. Mobile Task Force Gamma 9 were either critically injured or already deceased, except for Agent Mallory, who was unconscious upon discovery and sustained a fractured left wrist. All survivors were transported to the Site-39 infirmary for treatment. On July 13, 2013, Site Director Kathleen Gray had a one-to-one meeting with Agent Mallory regarding Operation Daisy Cutter. During the meeting, Agent Mallory's head injury had given her slight memory loss. Director Gray recommended that Agent Mallory be temporarily off any field assignments and be assigned to recruitment duty until she has fully recovered. At 10:30 p.m., Director Gray had tripped and fallen down the stairs. She sustained a blunt force head injury and had to be immediately hospitalized. Assistant Director Allison Ortega was brought in as acting site director for the time of Director Gray's recovery. During A.D. Ortega's management, the following incidents occurred. Incident 74901. Eggy Lewis. On July 15, 2013, Agent Felicia Mallory was tutoring their first intern, Eggy Lewis, for his upcoming test on thaumaturgy. This took place in Lounge 10 in Sublevel 1. Water leaked through the cabinet door from the sink and flowed to Eggy Lewis. Eggy Lewis got up to take a break, but slipped and fell onto the floor. Agent Felicia Mallory called for help, and the guards checked to see if Eggy had sustained any injuries. They discovered that his right little finger was broken, and he was sent to the infirmary. Sarah Taylor. On July 19, 2013, Agent Felicia Mallory and Agent Sarah Taylor were escorting a row of D-Class to their cells. D-13174 had escaped his restraints and attacked Agent Sarah Taylor. D-13174 took her handgun and fired on Agent Sarah Taylor before being subdued by Agent Felicia Mallory. Agent Sarah Taylor had sustained an injury on her right thigh and had to be sent to the infirmary. D-13174 was sent to solitary confinement for 10 days while undergoing disciplinary action against on-site guards. Adrian Lorenzo. On July 25, 2013, Agent Felicia Mallory was in the middle of a training exercise on firearms with Agent Adrian Lorenzo. Agent Lorenzo's firearm had jammed. As he attempted to pull back the slide, he mistakenly aimed his weapon downwards and fired at his left foot. He was immediately sent to the infirmary. Christian Martinez. On August 2nd, 2013, Agent Felicia Mallory was walking with senior researcher Christian Martinez to his car, having a general chat. He drove back home at 9:15 p.m. when suddenly his windshield was struck by a cinder block and crushed his head. He died instantly. After these incidents, A.D. Ortega requested Agent Felicia to her office for a one-on-one meeting. Seems like a bad idea, but good luck. The meeting from Assistant Director Allison Ortega with Agent Felicia Mallory. Date, August 4th, 2013. Interviewer, Assistant Director Ortega. Interviewee, Agent Mallory. You want to take the anomaly?
Sure.
Begin log. Hello, Felicia. Take a seat.
Oh, I zoomed and it took 10 minutes to respond. I don't know what the deal is with the CSS on here. Oof. Okay. Did I do something wrong, ma'am?
You tell me.
Sorry, I don't follow.
Are you aware of what's been happening here at Site 39?
Yes, I am. I guess it's not our week.
You could say that.
May I ask why I was called here?
I've been reviewing these incidents. Surveillance has shown that you were both nearby the person and the last one that was with them before the incident took place.
So what? You're saying I'm responsible for all this?
These incidents happened when you were there, Agent.
With all due respect, ma'am, but you're being ridiculous.
Am I now? How about Operation Daisy Cutter with you and what happened to Gamma 9? Some of them are hospitalized for severe injuries, while the rest are in body bags. And yet, you only walk out with just a broken arm and some memory loss.
I've had enough of this.
She stood up and paces to the exit. If you so much as touch that knob, I can and will punish you for insubordination, unless you can prove me wrong. Agent Mallory stands in place for 13 seconds before reluctantly walking back to her chair and sitting down.
Fine. What do you want me to do?
Go to Testing Block 6 at Sublevels 3. There, we will conduct a small test with a couple of D-Class, and if nothing happens to them, you can resume your duties. I'll be the one in charge of testing.
And if something does happen to them?
Simple. We designate you as an SCP, and we contain you. Might even do more tests to figure you out.
Permission to speak freely, ma'am?
Go ahead.
If it weren't for this uniform, I'd smack the shit out of you.
Noted. End log. Addendum 2. Testing with inciting incidents. Subject, D66960. Middle nice.
Yeah.
Procedure,
Long...
D...
It's a lot of numbers.
D66960 stepped onto the 15-meter line and wait for A.D. Ortega to order him to move forward. No effect occurred, so A.D. Ortega ordered D66960 to be 5 meters closer to Agent Mallory. Results. D66960 suddenly gets a muscle cramp on his right arm. D. All sevens. D. All sevens walked to the 15-meter line away from Agent Mallory. Results. A ceiling panel suddenly came loose and would have struck D77777 from above if Agent Mallory hadn't stepped in, tackling him down. D13174. This is our shooty boy. D13174 is to step onto the 15-meter line and wait for A.D. Ortega's orders for him to move forward. Results. D13174 had made repeated inappropriate comments to Agent Mallory. The two conversed about the incident with Agent Taylor and who was to blame. No noticeable effect occurred. D13174 was sent back to his cell block. Following a visit to the medical bay, A.D. Ortega was sent home on sick leave. She emailed all her senior staff that she will be taking a week off. After the week, she returned with a report that she had stage 1 stomach cancer. A.D. Ortega assigned Dr. Carmichael and Assistant Researcher Miller to conduct the test and the interviews. A.D. Ortega has informed them that the interviews will be conducted via video conferences and that Head Researcher Dr. Carmichael and Assistant Researcher Dr. Miller are to be in a control room to view the tests of Agent Felicia Mallory. Incidents 7492. D13174. On August 11th, 2013 at 7:15 p.m. during dinner, D13174 was stabbed by D44786 using a makeshift weapon with a 2.5-inch nail and a toothbrush tied by 4 rubber bands 5 times on his back. That's a sentence. On-site guards were able to separate the two and place them in solitary confinement in their respective cells. D13174 had sustained a critical injury on his right lung as it was punctured. He expired due to internal bleeding 2 hours later. Johnny Walker. On August 13, 2013, fans in Lounge 3 of Sublevel 1 malfunctioned. Agent Felicia Mallory requested technician Johnny Walker for repairs. 11 minutes later, the fan suddenly returned to function while Johnny Walker was still in the air ventilation. 3 of his fingers were sliced off from his right hand and was immediately sent to the infirmary. And what actually happened here is someone asked SCP-294 for a finger of Johnny Walker.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say there's definitely a whiskey joke in there somewhere, but.
Elevator 5. On August 14, 2013, Agent Felicia Mallory, Dr. Houston Morgan, Junior Researcher Lucy Ophelia, and Dr. Derek Oliver all took an elevator going up to Level 1. The elevator malfunctioned and stopped between Sublevel 1 and Sublevel 2. They used the emergency call to request aid and waited an hour and 15 minutes. The emergency response teams finally opened the doors and helped them out of the elevator. Cafeteria A. On August 17, 2013 at 6 p.m., 7 personnel had been struck by a virus via food poisoning. The last they have eaten was in Cafeteria A during lunch. All contaminated food was thrown away and personnel was treated immediately. The list of individual personnel is as follows. Dr. Gene Parker, Secretary Jordan Pierce, Dr. Jaden Bernard, Senior Researcher Antonio Chavez, Dr. Melissa Payan, Agent Reiki Samuke, Agent Felicia Mallory. 2. Assistant Director Allison Ortega, from Dr. Alan Willis. Subject regarding recent incidents. What the hell is going on in this site? Every day I see people getting hurt or sick and it just gets worse. Somebody needs to get their act together and pay for their negligence or we got an uncontained anomaly on us. Either way, you need to fix this because this is unacceptable. Head Dr. Alan Willis of Med 3. 2. Dr. Alan Willis from Assistant Director Allison Ortega. Subject regarding recent incidents. Dr. Willis, I understand your frustration. I do. Thankfully, I know how to handle this. I apologize for all the inconvenience and will take full responsibility. Assistant Director Allison Ortega. With the growing number of incidents surrounding Agent Felicia Mallory, A.D. Ortega had officially designated the subject as SCP-7490 after its recovery from food poisoning. SCP-7490 had been immediately contained in hopes of preventing further incidents. Addendum 3. SCP-7490 interviews plus testing. Interview 7491. August 19, 2013, interviewer, head researcher Tony Carmichael, and assistant researcher Dr. Jessica Miller. Interviewee, SCP-7490. I'll take the doctors, you take the anomaly.
Perfect.
Begin log. Hello, 7490. I'm Dr. Carmichael. This here is my assistant, Dr. Miller. Hello there.
Hi.
I took a good look at your file before we started. Served for 6 years and became a first-class sergeant. All good stuff and all, but nothing much beforehand. So I'm hoping maybe you could tell me something that these papers are not.
Anything you're looking for in particular?
Perhaps anything you can recall regarding your anomaly. Childhood, teens, where and when it started.
Okay.
SCP-7490 stays silent for a couple of seconds.
Broke my arm at the monkey bars when I was 9. Lost my phone. I don't know. A lot of stuff happened.
How about we start from the beginning? Whatever that may be for you.
Where to start? Well, my dad was a construction worker. We weren't struggling, but the house was pretty small and plain.
And your mother?
I don't know my mother.
You don't?
Nope, she was just gone. leaving my dad to do the heavy lifting and parenting.
Hmm.
And he was, God, couldn't stand him. Prick.
Assuming it wasn't easy.
It's putting it lightly. The guy was a short fused bomb, and it was for the dumbest things most of the time. Yeah, as a kid, I did lots of stupid things, sure. But even when I hit 12 and started to be more aware, he still found ways to get pissed at me. Like, get yourself a freaking therapist, goddamn.
Couldn't be me.
Oh my God. And even when he had that accident with the leg, he put it all on me. Motherfucker, I didn't cut it off, then make you go unemployed. And you know what? I should have. I'm sorry, I need a moment.
Take all the time you need. We're not going anywhere. SCP-7490 left its seat and paced its containment chamber for 1 minute and 10 seconds before sitting back down in front of the conference.
I'm good now.
How about we move on? Did anything happen during your adolescence?
I stopped being afraid of him when I found out he was all bark but no bite, even before the accident. God, the things we've said. Let's just say you guys are lucky you're not my neighbors.
Jesus.
Yeah, I could really use him by now.
SCP-7490 slightly slides down from its seat.
Just realized I vented but said nothing about the anomaly. I'm sorry if I wasted your time.
Don't worry about it. At least you got it all out of your chest.
It's hard to recall anything when most of it isn't fondly.
Understandable. Perhaps you could tell us why you joined the army.
College was much of an option, but I wanted a good enough amount of money just to get me out of my dad's. Good thing I did lots of sports prior, am I right? The rest became history. Been here for 3 years and finally I got myself here. Whoop-de-doo for me. And you know what? I get it. But still, you know, I don't mean to do this, right? The incidents.
We do. That's why we're here.
Do they know, though?
That shouldn't be of your concern right now.
I think it should. They don't deserve what happened to them.
If you like, we can let them know that it wasn't your intention.
That'll be nice. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't.
We know.
Yeah. Just want to make sure.
I think we can end it here for today. Agreed. Alright then, we'll see you again tomorrow. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. Again, sorry I didn't provide much.
It's alright. You take care now. And log. Date. August 20th, 2013. Head researcher Tony Carmichael and assistant researcher Dr. Jessica Miller. Same SCP-7490. Let's begin log. Interview 2. Hello again, 7490.
Hey, Doctor.
How are we feeling today?
I've been thinking.
About?
A lot of things, but mostly on what D13174 said.
And what did he say? I wasn't there for the first test, after all.
He said, what if you're the reason I got out of my cuffs and got her shot?
Her as in Agent Taylor. Her as in Agent Taylor? SCP-7490 nods.
Yeah, he also said, probably like how something is going to happen to me, all because I'm here with you.
I wouldn't let it get to you. I wouldn't let it get to you. What does he know that we don't?
I don't know. It's just, like, how many incidents are there?
I agree with Dr. Miller. This shouldn't concern you as of now.
Why not? I'm here because bad things happen to people when I'm around, right? Look, I just want to know how bad it is.
Well, 2 directors were sent to the hospital, 3 on-site agents, all 6 other members of Gamma 9, 2 D-Class, and 11 other staff. 24 personnel in those 13 incidents.
That's a lot.
It is. SCP-7490 sits in silence.
He might have been right.
Were you controlling those events?
I don't think so, no.
So you never intended any of those incidents to occur?
No, sir.
Then that's that. It wasn't you. It's this thing you have.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll figure it out, the three of us. Something I said?
Kind of funny you care.
Life's too short to be stone cold serious. Doesn't hurt to be a little hopeful.
I guess.
Ahem. Oh yes, I wanted to ask you about your services. Maybe something occurred during that time?
That's not an easy thing to talk about. Not right now, at least.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't mean to overstep.
You're fine. Ooh-wee. You're just going to know my whole life story.
We just want to understand is all.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe it's too soon for another interview. That was my mistake. We'll let you be 7490.
Again, you're fine.
Until next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. And also, I meant what I said. We will figure this out. It's our job too.
I'm sure you will, Doctor.
Take care.
You too.
On August 21st, 2013, Agent Taylor requested a video call to SCP-7490, to which it was approved. Agent Taylor was allotted 5 minutes for the call. Call 7491. Date August 21st, 2013. Caller Agent Sarah Taylor. Receiver SCP-7490. Begin log. Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just got a workout in. How's the leg?
Got another 12 days or so, though it sucks to walk.
Yeah, I bet.
So, what's it like, being in there and all?
It reminds me a lot of my old home, just quieter, which is the only upside to it. Did you hear what happened to D13174? I mean,
Asshole who shot me? Yeah, what about him?
before he died, he said maybe I was the one that got you shot.
You're really gonna be listening to what that guy has to say? SCP-7490 remains silent. Are you kidding me?
I mean, what if he had a point? If I hadn't been there, you would have been fine.
But I am fine. Look, in a couple of weeks, your girl will be sprinting. I'll do a backflip and send you a video of me doing it. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
That a girl.
By the way, Sarah, I got a couple of questions.
Sure, what's on your mind?
How's Gamma 9 doing?
Oh, you know.
No, I don't.
Never visited?
I didn't want to bother them. Like, imagine me constantly going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" They'd probably get sick of me.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's not like I can do that now, but it's fine as long as they're all okay.
Agent Taylor, her eyes away from the camera.
You'd say right.
Oh, I forgot right. Yes. Right. Then, her eyes away from the camera.
You good? You seem tense. It's the leg.
No, it's not the leg.
Then what is it?
Agent Taylor sighs. She still does not make eye contact with 7490.
Spit it out, Sarah.
I don't think...
What? What happened?
Before I tell you, just be ready. SCP-7490 sits in silence. They're all dead. Silence. They lost too much blood, or they couldn't get all the bullet pieces out. There's nothing they could do anymore. I'm sorry. SCP-7490 starts to scratch its forearm.
Who else knows about this?
Everyone on site.
Fuck.
Are you okay? SCP-7490 covers its mouth and leans forward out of frame. Its breathing becomes shakier. Hey.
Oh my god, I did this. I killed.
No, 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 that's not true. It was the insurgency, okay?
Stop talking. Just leave me alone.
Okay. Agent Taylor ends the video call. End
That
log.
that helped, clearly.
On August 22nd, 2013 at 4:13 a.m., SCP-7490 had recently been observed to have trouble sleeping and would often sit against the wall. SCP-7490 went to the sink and turned on the faucet, though no water had come out. When examining the sink, SCP-7490 slid its fingertips on the side of the mirror, making them bleed. SCP-7490 punched the mirror out of frustration and covered its bleeding fingers with a towel. 20 minutes later, SCP-7490 had fallen back to sleep. It had undergone somniloquy, footnote, sleep talking, vocalizing the name Tommy. The following morning, SCP-7490 requested treatment for its hand. A first aid kit was delivered to SCP-7490's chamber via remote control automobile Octavia. Interview 7490.3. Date August 22nd, 2013. Interviewer Dr. Tony Carmichael and Assistant Researcher Dr. Jessica Miller. Interviewee SCP-7490. Begin log. Hello, 7490. How's your hand?
Stings when I move it, but
Wish we could have gotten you a real medic.
don't worry about it. So, is there anything you want to know?
How can we say this without being blunt? Last night, you were talking in your slate.
Oh, haha, that's a first. What did I say?
Tommy. So, who's this Tommy?
He was the sweetest guy in the whole world. He always had my back and made sure I was okay. Sometimes he'll let me sleep over at his house because it was a hell of a lot better than staying at my dad's. God damn, it just doesn't stop, does it?
What doesn't stop?
This, me, I'm like a black cat.
You think you're cursed?
I resent that notion as an owner of 2 black cats. Not think, am. Everyone gets hurt or killed because of me.
We've already said that you never intended on that.
Tell that to Tommy and the gang.
Well, what happened? SCP-7490 adjusts itself on its seat.
One time, he invited me to another friend of his who just happened to have a car. We hung outside for a while until this giant storm poured down on us. We drove back home. We could barely see anything with all that rain. I don't know what he saw, but it made him swerve. We crashed the barricade of the bridge and were sinking into the river. The water was filling up fast and we couldn't push the doors open. I was able to unbuckle myself and try to roll down my window. More water rushed in, and the next thing you know, the car was full. His friend got the seatbelt off, but his foot got stuck and Tommy's was jammed. I tried to get them out, but I didn't have any air left. I thought I could rescue them if I could swim back up and back down. When I got a good breath and swim back down, I couldn't find the car. Everything was just so dark and blurry. I tried to go deeper, but I ran out of air again. I just kept repeating this over and over, hoping that maybe I could find the car or that they made it out. And I just stopped. I got out of the river and walked. The rain was still going. I got to some high ground and a local church brought me inside. I told them about the car. They said I needed to wait until the storm cleared. I begged them to go look for them, but I already knew. When the storm passed and we were recovering, they ended up finding the car. They were still inside. Tommy, he probably thought his best friend left him. She did. She most certainly did.
Silence for 12 seconds.
You probably think I'm a bad person. Just say it.
It was in the heat of the moment. You were panicking. SCP-7490 shakes its head.
No, I knew what I was doing.
Silence for 12 seconds.
Very specific interval.
We'll be conducting another test soon. Like the last test, it'll be unbiased. My hope is that maybe there's a certain distance it can reach, even with the fluctuations.
Should we?
Yes. There's a logical explanation for everything, including this here, and it's my job to find out what that is. SCP-7490 remains silent. Why are you hesitating?
What if something goes wrong?
Something always goes wrong, I'll admit. Even so, we learn from it and keep going. It's just how we work.
You really want to help?
It's our duty to.
But why do you want to?
I got my reasons. So, are you up for it?
Sure, I'll do your test.
That's good. We'll see you then, 7490. Take care. End log. From A.D. Ortega to Dr. Carmichael. Subject, concerns. Dr. Carmichael, you seem to be very motivated to help SCP-7490. Should I be concerned that you're growing a fondness for it? Assistant Director Allison Ortega. From Dr. Carmichael to A.D. Ortega. Subject, regarding concerns. A.D. Ortega. In these last 15 years of being a researcher, I've never had a fondness for the skips. There's a problem I should have noticed. The humanoid SCPs I was in charge of had either attempted or successfully committed suicide. And it's not just me. Many other doctors have had this experience. The humanoids are confused when they first activate their anomalies, and we simply leave them in cages. It is not pleasant, knowing that you were responsible for their deaths and that you could have prevented them. It also doesn't take a member of the ethics committee or even a psychologist to see how wrong that is. Yes, I will do as you assign me to do, but I'm trying not to repeat my mistakes. We need to be more responsible, plain and simple. Signed, Dr. Carmichael. Subject, D57934. Procedure, D57934 is to step onto the 15-meter line and wait for Dr. Carmichael to order him to move forward. When nothing occurred, Dr. Carmichael ordered D57934 to be 5 meters closer to SCP-7490. Nothing had still occurred, so D57934 was ordered to stand half a meter from SCP-7490. Results: D57934 was granted permission to leave the cell after no sign of anomalous affection. Sudden affection? Anomalous affection. Suddenly, D57934's nose bled and passed out before leaving testing block 6. 2 on-site medical staff had taken D57934. D57934 had expired. Subject, D all 7s and D66960. D all 7s and D66960 were both in the testing block for multiple affected testing. Before the test began, the power to Site-39 had shut down, turning on the emergency backup power. An emergency lockdown occurred, trapping both the D-Class and 7490. Results: D66960 panicked and attempted to exit testing block 6 with force, but D all 7s attempted to hold him back. The 2 D-Class got into a fistfight while Dr. Carmichael ordered them to stop and wait for help. 10 minutes after the lockdown, the on-site technicians were able to open the exit of testing block 6. On-site guards escorted the 2D class to their respective cells, while another group of on-site guards readied an SRA for SCP-7490, returning it to containment. 5 hours later, Site-39's power returned. Interview 7490.4. Date, August 23rd, 2013. Interviewer, Dr. Tony Carmichael, and Assistant Researcher, Dr. Jessica Miller. Interviewee, SCP-7490. Hi, 7490. Yesterday was a mess, and I apologize. But I'm preparing for another test soon. This time we will be...
I don't think we're ever going to find anything with these tests.
We can try, though. As I said, there's a logical explanation for everything.
Not for this.
We know it's been hard for you. We do, but this could be your chance to get your life back.
I got no chance at that. Not anymore.
Well, I don't believe in chances.
How did the lockdown happen then?
A thunderstorm. A transformer got hit by lightning.
See?
That doesn't mean anything. It's just an inconvenience. SCP-7490 points at itself. Well, maybe it was just bad timing.
Yeah, a lot of it is bad timing.
We've been fine so far.
Because you're not here. Not that it matters, since someone else is going to be affected.
SCP-7490, that's enough. If we just have some time.
No, no more waiting, no more tests. I'm done with this. I don't want to hurt people anymore.
That's very thoughtful of you, noble even, but don't you at least want to try?
I'm telling you that there's no point to it. Even if you did find out what it was, I doubt you could take it out. Your best bet is to just keep me in here. I'm thankful for you guys trying to help, but there's not much you can do now. I don't make things worse.
We haven't even scratched the surface. And now you want us to give up? Tony, no, Jessica, I have to do this. I have to make this right. I just need to try.
And what if it isn't enough?
If you believe that your anomaly is as dangerous as you say it is, then that's every reason why we need to keep going. You want to spend the rest of your days in a cell, wondering if perhaps there was a way to solve this?
I don't want to risk it.
Neither do I, 7490. Please, I need to do this.
You did enough.
Silence for 9 seconds. SCP-7490 slides down on their chair and gazes at the ceiling.
The last thing my dad told me was, it should have been you. He said the same thing back. I bet the neighbors were celebrating because we'd never said a word to each other after that. Not even a whisper before I left.
What would you say if you had the chance?
I'm sorry to my dad and my mom, to everyone.
End log. Addendum 4. Conclusion. Interview 74905. Date August 24th, 2013. Interviewer Assistant Researcher Dr. Jessica Miller. Interviewee SCP-7490. Begin log. Hi, SCP-7490.
Hey, Carmichael's not with you.
He's in his office, still trying to figure out your anomaly.
Are you... what is up with him?
You two are a lot alike.
How?
Well, for starters, you both think you're responsible for other people's well-being, so you both are trying to do what you think is best for them. Think that's all we can do.
And you? What brings you here?
Just checking up on you.
Well, you checked.
You got no filter, do you?
Sorry.
Apologize a lot, too.
What's your point?
This anomaly is not kind. That doesn't mean you're that, too.
I'm
serious. Thing is, this whole time, you've never been kind to yourself. All the things people said and done to you, you carry that. Alone.
Maybe because I deserve it.
Do you, though? Or do you want to feel like you do? SCP-7490 remains silent. You've got horrible luck. But what happened to you when you were young wasn't your fault. Neither was Gamma 9, or these last 2 months. Silence. This anomaly does not define you. Nothing does except you. And I know damn well that you are a lot of things. The question is, do you know? Silence. That's all I wanted to say.
Hold on.
Yes?
How are they? Jake and Tommy.
The 2D class? They're fine.
Honest to God, they're fine.
They are. D-6696O's arm pain had finally gone away.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Come to think of it, neither of them was that affected when they were with you. You would think with the storm your anomaly would also work on them, but it just locked the door.
Maybe they got lucky.
Maybe. Or perhaps. I know you already said no more tests, but...
I stand by that.
I understand that, but I think there might be something about you and your anomaly that we've missed. Maybe there's a way to control it.
Tony's optimism is starting to rub off on you.
Hear me out. I had a theory going on in my head with the D13714. Maybe it works similarly with these other two.
Well, what's the theory?
It's rough, but I believe your anomaly is somehow tied to your state of mind. If you think negatively, bad things will happen, but if you think positively, then good things will happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
If anything goes wrong, I will take full responsibility.
But what if it doesn't work?
Only one way to find out.
I don't know.
I can assure you everything will be fine. Trust me.
I do. I still think you shouldn't do it.
And what if, God forbid, those SRAs shut down or a containment breach? Are you just going to sit there and let it all happen?
I don't want any of that to happen.
It might. Sure, we can stop it from getting worse, but who's to say? If anything, we should be able to prevent breaches. And if this test could serve that, what's stopping you?
It's a theory.
One
An
that can probably save a
SCP
lot
theory. Sorry, I had to say that.
I got it. One that can probably save a lot of people. If you wanna help people so badly, this is how. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to wait until that breach comes. Silence.
What time?
Tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Thank you, 7490.
You better be right.
End log. Subjects: D all sevens and D66960. Procedure: SCP-7490 were to stand in between D66960 and D all sevens, while 2 guards were to throw tennis balls at them. Results: before continuing the procedure, Dr. Miller encouraged SCP-7490 that it will keep them safe. After about 40 seconds of prep time, the guards threw the tennis balls full force. Every ball the guards threw missed the 3 subjects until they ran out. Subject: Dr. Jessica Miller. Procedure: Dr. Miller was to be shot in the head by 1 or 2 guards. Results: once again, Dr. Miller had to encourage SCP-7490 that it will keep her safe. SCP-7490 was hesitant, but Dr. Miller was able to persuade the subject and had another 40 seconds of prep time. SCP-7490 was ready, and both the guards aimed their handguns and attempted to fire. However, their weapons were jammed. Dr. Miller ordered the guards to continue while having the D-Class throw the tennis balls at her, to which they all missed. After 20 seconds, Dr. Miller called off the test. From A.D. Ortega to Dr. Carmichael, subject regarding the final test. I saw the final test. Did Miller honestly believe that SCP-7490 could have jammed that guard's weapon, let alone 2? What she did could have got herself killed. Assistant Director Alston Ortega. From Dr. Carmichael to Ortega regarding the final test. It was 50-50, to be frank. She told the guards and me her plan before we got to testing, which was that the weapons would have blank rounds in their magazines. So in case the guards were successful in pulling the triggers, Miller would have been fine either way. Regardless, researcher Miller's theory was correct. Dr. Tony Carmichael. SCP-7490 finally accepted weekly sessions with Dr. Connor Quinn for psychological evaluation for a whole month. Since then, the effects of SCP-7490 caused the following incidents. Incident 7493, Kathleen Gray. On October 13, Director Kathleen Gray made a full recovery with no repercussions and has returned to her position within Site-39. Since her return, Site-39 has also returned to being systemic, with next to no incidents regarding injury, illness, or death. Allison Ortega. On August 30th, 2013, Assistant Director Allison Ortega was able to make an appointment with her doctors to remove her stomach cancer before it reached stage 2. After 2 weeks, she made a full recovery and returned to her position. Didn't even need chemo. That's awesome luck. Sarah Taylor. On September 1st, 2013, Agent Sarah Taylor had fully recovered from her surgery, as well as been promoted to Senior Security Officer. Frankie Costello. On January 17, 2014, junior researcher Frankie Costello won the Powerball, gaining $500,000. Edward Russo. On June 5th, 2014, Dr. Edward Russo had a call from his wife stating that his daughter had finally been accepted to the David Eccles School of Business in Salt Lake City, Utah. They will be starting next year. Xavier McQueen. On November 11th, 2014, after having a one-on-one interview with 053, as well as an extensive review of his record, Agent Xavier McQueen had been selected to be 053's personal bodyguard. Once he completes 6 months of training, he will have access to any secret intel of the Foundation archives and will be transferred to Site 1. Notice from Director Kathleen Gray of Site-39. As you all know, a lot of favorable things have been happening the last few weeks, all due to SCP-7490. However, we must remember that it is only because of its state of mind and not because it wills it so. Because of that, SCP-7490 can either make Site-39 fall or continue to keep it standing. For the sake of our stability, we will continue with its containment along with these sessions. Please schedule a one-on-one meeting with me if anyone had any concerns or suggestions regarding its containment. I've also heard rumors that SCP-7490 will be used to develop Site-39's prominence. I'm here to disclose that we will do no such thing. Not only will we be painting a target on our backs, but the notion of utilizing an SCP that thinks and feels like us is unethical. I will no longer hear such nonsense going forward. Other than that, we will see what SCP-7490 has in store for us in the future. In the meantime, be cautious and treat SCP-7490 with the utmost sensitivity. SCP-7490 was and still is one of us. And so, SCP-7490 is our responsibility. We will secure. We will contain. We will protect. Good luck to all, and stay safe. So, surface details that just annoyed me a little bit. Surface details that just annoyed me on the minor scale. Having Tommy be the bestie best friend who died in the car, and then also be the name of one of the D-class.
Yes.
Jake and Tommy are safe. That weirded me out. I got confused.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was some weird thing happening here, some reality warping or something. I don't know. But yeah, that threw me off too.
Second, the mind state of 7490 being based on, in two different interviews, this conversation with the D-class who goaded her with, "It's your fault, you did it." I feel that the D-class would not even know what the hell was going on. Like, in most canons, we don't really tell the D-class a whole lot of details.
Yeah.
And
Very
certainly
minimum.
not enough for him to, like, goad her about the bad luck and it's all your fault.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah. A lot of, there was some tense issues I noticed too. There was times where it would flip back and forth from present to past tense. Like weirdly too. And like, you know, there's some misspellings and, you know, the typical stuff. It's not as long as I thought it was. It's a 6,000 word article. Most of it's dialogue. That's why it ends up so long. Like visibly. It's so wide too. It's not even a complaint. Just there's noticed it was wide.
Yeah, it's weirdly wide. It's really hard to fit on this screen for the stream. In one of these interview logs, I know that Dr. Miller gets changed to Researcher Miller for one interview, and then it goes back in the next interview. So that was just
it's a cameo. It's a hint. It's an Easter egg, you know, for Volgan subscribers. Yeah, and like of course, like the big thing for me is that this is basically just like a worst loser. In the sense that like the loser is clearly
there it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because
it's not like, you know, it's not bad. It's not
bad, but it definitely highlights why the loser is like a contest winning level version of this.
Yeah.
What's missing here to me in the main, so I went over my like little picky things and formatting errors, but the big thrust of this to me is that it hand waves at like, I want to make sure this like ethics committee suicidality of humanoid anomalies.
Also, like there's a lot of the articles you read today talked about suicide and like not a very like tasteful way. I noticed like the last one and the Black Moon. It's like, I mean, the Black Moon was a good article, but it still was like, kill yourself, you know, like It's a lot. I hope the next one's a fun one. I could use a fun one.
The Black Moon, I think I can get away with because it felt a little bit like the analog horror, like
Yeah.
when you look at
yeah.
like even there's one of those that's like the moon is giving us messages or something, and so it kind of like looked like a link. Because I know that in one of the analog horror series, I think it's like Local 58, the moon has something to do
stuff.
with things.
Yeah.
And then in Mandela Catalog, the entities are blatantly trying to get people to end their own lives. So, like, when I saw it in the Black Moon, I was like, oh, it's telling them to kill themselves. That's
if they added doppelgangers, I would have definitely made that connection.
But then the next one was just like, it was the one that was very unpleasant to read on purpose, and it was just like a lot of vulgar
on purpose and by accident. I think a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Column A, column B.
But
yeah, it's just a lot of bummer articles.
Quite a streak we've been on in tonight's article list.
Yeah. Woo. Man.
Yeah, this one, like, the big structural issues for me are that the themes are kind of hand-waved at, but not really dug into.
It feels two-dimensional.
And
yeah.
Two-dimensional. And the characters, like, there's so many interviews that feel like the same thing.
Yes.
The plot points that we get in all of these interviews, I don't feel like I get enough to humanize the characters or like get enough details to justify having this many logs.
Yeah. Also, I thought it was kind of weird that like, I mean, this one and the last one both had this thing where like you have a family member that you've had terrible experiences with, but also you want to like forgive them or like apologize to them, and like it doesn't really sit well with me. I don't know. She had a very awful relationship with her dad, and she's like, I just want to apologize, even though he told me that it should have been me that died instead of my mother.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. And I don't know. We didn't get to see her like talk about her service. They set that whole thing up and then it never paid off. Like, I'm not going to talk about that now.
You're right. They never did.
Man.
Oh, and the last thing. Turning it around to being good luck with mood just like that at the end. It came out like we had all of this going on, and she suggests, oh, it's mood-based. And then it works. And then the article's over.
I'm cured now. Thank you. I'll never be sad again.
Yeah, so Yar. That's all I got. Arr.
Yar. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, the choice to kill off an MTF group as a whole is very, very bold. That's usually looked down upon by critiquers because, you know, MTF, they're the best of the best of the best in their chosen field. If you kill off the MTFs, you either got to make the threat like commensurate for that, or readers are going to think that either the MTFs are incompetent or you wrote them to die. And it feels more like the latter here. But it did get away with it because it's a probabilistic anomaly that they weren't aware of. You know, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a risky move. It's at what, +4, so I don't know if it paid off, but there's something here. Maybe it just needs a little rewrite.
Yeah, there's articles that I no vote because I'm neutral, or down vote because I hate on X, Y, and Z. This one I'm down voting just because I don't feel like it's finished. And I feel like there's stuff there, and I just want you to like flesh it out. Yeah.
And get rid of some of the unnecessary stuff, I think. Yeah. Let's take a look at the next one, because I could use a palate cleanser.
Let's see if SCP-7024 by Jakowski is short enough to fit in tonight, or if it's the start of next time.
All right, 7024 you said, right?
Correct.
We just did 7042. Let's see, 7024. Lucky Cola, or The Dirty Secret of Why It Tastes So Good. That sounds fun.
I like that name. The article is short enough to do within our time limit, so this will be our last one for the night.
Excellent.
Party on. Let me get that stream oriented.
And that is, yes, Lucky Cola by Jack Kowalski. Item number SCP-7024. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. When instances of SCP-7024 are found, they should be confiscated and moved to the nearest storage depot for less hazardous materials for study and subsequent disposal. Depending on the storage capacity of each facility, at least 20% of the instances should be stored. No active efforts of mimetic suppression will be made to the subjects affected by SCP-7024, publicly attributing the associated events to caustic or chance factors. For the cases in which these events have a high diffusion or notoriety, disinformation campaigns will be carried out, attributing them to unfounded rumors or hoaxes. Image caption: home of Redacted. It's a long name. SCP-7024 consumer and winner of the Redacted International League of Legends tournament.
League of Legends is back again.
Yeah. The efforts of the Foundation should be focused on the discovery of the SCP-7024 manufacturing facilities and the capture of the workers for their subsequent interrogation and amnestization. In cooperation with the local authorities, these facilities will be shut down on charges of serious health problems. Distributors will be traced for the confiscation of SCP-7024, preventing its commercialization. Update 1. Upon discovery of a new SCP-7024 production site, a tactical team will be deployed to sabotage the machinery present and disable the site. These events should be covered up with fires, which will be reported as accidental. See Addendum 3. Update 2. If viable instances of SCP-7024-1 are found, their transport and delivery to the Druidic Secret Society will be coordinated through the Irish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. See Addendum 4. Interesting. Description: SCP-7024 corresponds to a compound with ontokinetic properties of lower intensity, commercially distributed under the name of Lucky Cola. SCP-7024 has in its composition ingredients usually found in energy drinks such as caffeine, sucrose, amino acids such as taurine, and B vitamins, together with a wormwood extract, Artemisia absinthium. Other organic, it's got absinthe in it, interesting. Other organic substances of biological origin have also been found, whose origin and composition have not yet been determined. See Addendum 2. Biological origin that have been found whose origin have not been determined. Okay. SCP-7024 has been described as, quote, refreshing and energizing with a slightly bitter aftertaste, similar to tonic water, without observing adverse effects other than those associated after consuming large quantities with the use of massive doses of caffeine and wormwood. The anomalous effect associated with the use of SCP-7024 is related to the result of events with probabilistic outcomes in which the consumer participates, especially in relation to games or other activities whose rewards are not tangible, obtaining favorable results in a proportion much higher than what it could be expected according to chance or to the consumer's abilities or skills. That was a long sentence. Additionally, an increase in the frequency of events with negative or harmful outcomes has been observed among people in the family, social, or work environment of SCP-7024 consumers, being the frequency and severity of these events directly proportional to the amounts consumed of SCP-7024, being originally many of these events associated to chance or to intentional actions on the part of SCP-7024 users. Another huge sentence. The existence
Two paragraphs
of,
in a row or just one sentence each?
yeah, the existence of
Three
SCP-7024.
paragraphs in a row or
Oh
just
no.
one sentence each?
The existence of SCP-7024 was discovered through the Foundation's automatic monitoring system of social networks, communications, and news Cassandra, upon which detecting a series of unusual domestic accidents established that all the homes were inhabited by a subject who had recently obtained a victory in a sports or recreational competition. Thank you for the rest. Seeking to rule out the presence of anomalous activities, ontokinetic, or the use of thaumaturgic rituals, these subjects were interviewed, establishing that the common factor was the use of SCP-7024 in a period close to the events described. Addendum 1. Example of a subject affected by the use of SCP-7024. The following is a transcript of an interview with an SCP-7024 user, describing events that affected the subject and his family group. Interviewee, Tony Frati, 55 years old, an accountant from the city of Redacted. Interviewer, Geronimo Bozo, police officer from Redacted. Preamble. Mr. Frati went to the Redacted City Police Station on September 21st, 2020, or September 20th, 2021, to make a complaint against the casino Redacted for possible criminal actions against his family. The complaint was received by Agent Geronimo Bozo of the State Police Redacted, and the recording obtained was delivered to the Foundation through a collaborating agent. Do you want to be Agent Bozo?
I would love to be Agent Bozo. Geronimo Bozo is what you say when you kick someone out of a plane. Geronimo Bozo.
Right, yeah.
Ah!
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. That name's been killing me. I love it.
These names are like comically Italian. Like,
Yeah. Good afternoon. Tell me, how can I help you?
I didn't think they were capable, but those damn bastards did it. They just can't accept someone getting lucky and beating them fair and square. No, sir. Because they're cheaters. They think everyone else cheats.
Excuse me?
The casino people. They clearly fleece whoever they can, but if someone beats them, they go ballistic. I wonder is how they were able to get her to hurt her. Start something.
Calm down. Please explain to me what happened.
Excuse me, I think I started in the middle. What happened is that a while ago I won some money from the casino. And apparently because they think I cheated and they couldn't prove it, they retaliated against my wife. I've always liked to gamble, though I never do it in large amounts. Smiles. The night of September 7th, I went down to the casino to spend a few dollars, and yes, sir, that was my night. I started with the roulette and I turned 200 into 1,000. Then I went to the blackjack table and won hand after hand. I folded when I hit 30K.
Hey, between you and me, did you cheat?
Of course not. I'm a Presbyterian. Cheating is a sin. I don't drink alcohol either. I only drink energy drinks. That night, I drank several cans of the only non-alcoholic thing they had, a soda called Lucky Cola. It's green as shit and kind of bitter, but it's very refreshing. I liked it so much that it took several cans at home with me. That night, I played it till about 3 or 4 a.m. I was winning, but I was afraid of losing everything, so I went to change the chips. When I got to the cashier and cashed out, I was held and taken to a monitoring room. The head of security told me that I was no longer welcome, that my access to the casino was forbidden from that day on. I saw distrust and confusion in his eyes, like he was trying to understand how I had cheated. They simply could not accept that I had been lucky. I went back to my home, and the next day I decided to spend some of that money that fell from the sky, smiles, to buy a new van for Maria, my wife. Her old truck was barely working, and every day she has to commute an hour to work. If you could have seen her now, how happy she was when she went to pick it up. It was brand new, fresh from the dealer. We went out to test it on a nearby road. It was running perfectly. I didn't make any strange noises. Just before reaching a junction, the steering locked up. We went through an intersection and ended up being hit by a car coming in the opposite direction. The impact was on the driver's side. I was unhurt, but my wife got the worst part. I think I had been in the hospital with her. She regained consciousness a few days ago. Unfortunately, her head is fine, but she suffered multiple fractures, and the doctors don't know if she'll ever walk again. I had given it a lot of thought, but I can't help but think that the casino people did something to the van so that we would have had the accident. But, how did they know we would buy that vehicle from that place? And how could they sabotage it? Either that or the money was cursed. It's like my all good fortune is gone in one fell swoop. End of record. September. Okay, it is. Okay, 20th September 2021 at 1230 hours. Closing statement. Foundation technical personnel were able to access the wreckage of the wrecked vehicle, finding no signs of malicious tampering on any of the van's components. Subsequent analysis determined that the accident was attributable to a very rare spontaneous failure of the hydraulic system, not detected in the quality control tests. Addendum 2. Access to a SCP-7024 production plant. Through interviews with distributors, it was determined that the compound was produced by a U.S. company called Irish Charm Limited, though it was possible through a front company to acquire a batch of 100 cans of 350 milliliter of SCP-7024. The first attempts to find the production plant was unsuccessful, not locating the indicated address or only finding disused industrial rooms. The use of paratechnology was required so that an exploration team could access the plant and make a record of its production activities. Participating team. Members of MTF Lambda 6, Snoopers. Participating personnel. Captain Mario Gutierrez, Lambda 1. Agent Ali Salmad, Lambda 2. And Agent Barry Boyle, Lambda 3. Okay, so there's one comically Italian person in this group.
And one comic book superhero.
Looks like one has the most lines. I can do one, you can do 2, 3.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm not going to do the accent anymore. Sorry, it's tiring.
That's all right.
Guys.
Lambda 3's getting an accent. You can't be called Barry Boyle without having some funny voice.
That's fair. Guys, this is the last building we need to expect today. Activate your Delphos. I don't want to encounter any unpleasant surprises.
Okay, Captain. Although I doubt we can even enter the place. It's about to collapse. It looks like it's been abandoned since the Prohibition era. Can't hear any noise from inside or see any steam coming out of the chimneys. Shall I go inspect if there are any service entrances?
No. Reconfigures his Delphos equipment to a different wavelength. How interesting. We have the entrance right in front of us, covered with camouflage glyphs.
Do you think we have any thaumaturgists on site?
I doubt it. Yeah, you can learn how to draw those things on the internet. Most likely they're just some junkies who want to cook meth without anyone sticking their nose in.
Anyway, so far the only abnormal thing we found in the inspections are the abnormally large and hungry rats living in those abandoned factories. Let's check this dump fast and get back to base.
Communicating by radio. Video transmission activated. We're going in.
This place looks a lot bigger than I expected. It also looks pretty clean, like they've been using it until recently.
Look what we have here. Points his camera at some stainless steel tanks. Either someone is reviving Grandpa's illegal whiskey business, or we finally found the factory. I can report that there are sounds of machinery running and steam coming out of at least one of the tanks, but so far we don't see any of the operators. I'll be control. Shall we send a support team? No, we have our weapons ready if hostiles are present. Also, in the worst situation, we will proceed to evacuate the compound. Copy that. And the image caption is a section of SCP-7024 production plant.
Do you feel that smell? It's like a decoction of medicinal herbs with a rat smell. Monkey smell? Shit smell. I don't know, it's like a beast smell.
I don't think it's relevant. Let's keep checking. They find crates with sacks of sugar and dried grass, plus other components they can't identify, and they take samples for further analysis. While checking another storage cellar, a loud noise is heard, and steam and an amorphous mass of debris come out of one of the tanks, being carried by a nearby conveyor belt to a trash container. This is getting more and more interesting. They continue with the search place, accessing a warehouse with apparently several hundred units of SCP-7024.
This appears to be the finished product storage warehouse. There's something that has me concerned. We've been, 10 minutes checking the place so far, and we haven't seen any workers. It's impossible that the plant is fully automated. Hey, I followed one of the scrap carts, and it emptied into the top of a warehouse! The door is padlocked. It seemed to me that that's too much security for a single dump.
3 operatives approach the warehouse, and Lambda 2 manages using a lockpick to open the door. They find several piles of boiled grass, and peeking out of one of those piles, they see the partially heat-destroyed remains of a small quadrupedal animal with a large skull.
Oh, shit. It looks like they boiled a rat. It's disgusting.
They continue exploring the place, finding some offices with binders and accounting records and more warehouses with raw materials and packaging materials. They pass through the packaging section where the SCP-7024 canning process occurs seemingly automatically. Hearing cries of distress coming from a warehouse at the far end of the plant, they head over, picking the lock to gain entry. Inside, they find dozens of small-sized cages, several of which have small animals of an undetermined species inside, which are in varying degrees of agitation.
Oh, shit. What are those things? They look like little monkeys. I think this is where the stench of beasts we've been feeling all this time comes from. Since when are monkeys green? Also, those things are whimpering. I don't know if we should call in an animal recovery team from the Foundation or Wilson's guys. I'm not a zoologist, but I know those are not Capuchins.
Are they leprechauns? Listen good. They're not whimpering. It's like they're singing a funeral dirge. Fuck, that's really macabre. Lambda 1 approaches one of the cages, crouching down. What can we do for you, little buddy? Cobb hair. Cobb hair. Cobb hair? Help. At that moment, a hatch opens from the ceiling, and a mechanical crane grabs the cage, lifting it up and carrying it quickly to the outside. Moments later, the sound of steam rising and screams of pain can be heard. Oh, shit. Several subjects appear in the doorway, wearing work clothes and carrying shovels and other heavy tools.
Fuck me. What the hell are they doing in here?
Subjects rush towards the agents, and Lambda 1 proceeds to shoot them with his service weapon, being hit in the head by one of the attackers. Lambda 2 and Lambda 3 also open fire on the attackers, with several of the cages being kicked and overturned during the struggle, allowing several specimens of the unknown entity to flee the scene. Video contact is lost a few seconds later. Epilogue. A tactical response team from the nearest site arrived 30 minutes later at the scene, finding no trace of agents Gutierrez, Salmad, and Boyle, or the attackers involved in the incident. 3 instances of the unknown biological entity were recovered in the vicinity, along with the remains of at least a dozen cooked or partially dehydrated individuals. The instances were located in Bioterium of Site Redacted. Killing off the MTFs. Also, I'm getting kind of like, I mean, this is probably just me, but I'm getting kind of metaphysically in vibes here. Except for the weird the weird lucky stuff.
I'm with the chat, Nikki in there. It's slurm time. It's all slurm every way down.
Yeah, I definitely get slurm vibes now you mention it. Yeah. Okay. Addendum 3. Authorization level 2 or higher is required for access. Please enter password. Access authorized. Incident 7000. 7000-3-2022. On April 3rd, 2022, different format for the date now, a consignment of several hundred cans of the new energy drink promoted as, quote, Jinx Cola, the taste of misfortune, a product of Irish Charm Limited, was detected on the market. Analysis of this formulation revealed, in addition to caffeine, sugar, vitamins, and plant extracts, traces of the genetic material of the Foundation agents who disappeared in an incident of, now the other way, the hyphens too now, January 15th, 2022. It proceeded to requisition all instances present on the market and update the level of response and discovery of SCP-7024 production facilities. Addendum 4. Authorization level 2 or higher is required for access. Please enter password. Access authorized. Letter from the Department of Foreign Affairs of Ireland. June 6, 2022. Through a high-level liaison of the Foundation, it has come to our attention that they have under their control 3 instances of a species of cryptofauna belonging to the Republic of Ireland. Specimens which I must acknowledge with great regret were, along with many others, taken by the citizens of our country who, blinded by greed, have been capable not only of jeopardizing the balance we have maintained the magical world for centuries, but also the very well-being of the country itself. Those innocent creatures that you called creatively, I must admit, as Cibus viridis cantor, we have known from at least the Middle Ages as leprechauns, being protected for a very long time by a select group of men who knew ancient secrets. It was these same men who, at the time, preferred to form a black legend around the leprechauns so that they would be left alone. For the welfare of these creatures is literally our welfare, and if they are happy, luck will be with us and Ireland will prosper. On other occasions, event with regret, we have collaborated with you in the containment and even neutralization of other creatures of anomalous origin with which we had coexisted for centuries, but which simply did not adapt to modern times, getting out of control, becoming noxious, and unnecessarily attracting the attention of the world to our land. On this occasion, I ask you on behalf of the Irish government just the opposite, that you return these creatures to us so that they can return to live happily in their special corner of Ireland where they belong, a place unknown to most people. Because if they disappear, so will we. Hoping for your cooperation and that we do not have to resort to force majeure measures to achieve our goal, I take my best regards. Simon Coveney, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Defense of the Republic of Ireland. So, once again, there's a lot of bag errors, and I kind of got like a vibe that maybe this person wasn't like English as a first language, but I'm not sure.
They do have their like main first person they got crit from is an int person, so that lends credence to that.
Yeah. And like the feeling of smell, like that kind of made me think.
So my first thought was the Ghostbusters joke. Listen, you smell that?
Right, but it didn't say smell. He said you feel that.
Correct.
You feel the smell, which could be a translational issue, which is fine.
I honestly felt
answer.
it like the way that like, when you walk into a place that's rather like
English
stank,
is not Czechowski's mother language. He had to
sense.
translate the article after writing it, so that's probably what it is. So I will judge this article specifically then on the content rather than the writing, because it should be cleaned up. There should be someone in there to improve that a little bit, but I'm not going to hold that against the author. I don't know if most of the stuff is fine. It is there. It exists. It's fine. I don't like the idea of killing off MTF. I don't like. I don't know. I don't like how it's a soda tasting like tonic water. That just bothered me. I wouldn't buy a soda that tasted like tonic water. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the rainbow one.
Yeah, we have another like exploitation of
with the leprechauns. Yeah, and then like leprechauns being kind of different than what you'd expect, and then also like the fact that there's a lucky thing that when it wears off it makes you extra unlucky.
Because this one it doesn't so it's Lucky Cola from steeping leprechauns in liquid like tea.
Yep.
And
along with
it
grass
also makes the people around you unlucky, which doesn't make sense to me, because if the liquid is giving you luck, I don't feel like it saps luck from the area, which
there could be they could have explained that, because like it's similar thing happens in like The Loser and stuff. It's like, if luck is a quantifiable thing, then perhaps it pulls it from somewhere else, and then there's a void that needs to be filled with bad luck. Like you just state that, and I think that could be fine.
Also, worst business decision ever is for a casino to have one non-alcoholic beverage, and it's Lucky Cola.
Yeah, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but you definitely want to.
You could have picked any soda, and you picked the one that was going to lose you all the money. Like, you got mad at this one guy. I can't believe your casino's not closed.
Yeah, I was gonna say he cashed out when he was at 30K. You got lucky. You dodged a bullet there. What if he went into a heater and like left with 10 mil, and you'd be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, I guess because of like how often he was winning, they suspected him. But like 30,000, I don't know if that's enough to like attract the attention of casino security. I mean, Desk also Clef, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah,
we do have an expert, so let us know what our feelings on casino, beverage, and winning street numbers are.
Yeah, at what point does security be like, okay, this person is not just lucky, you know?
I could have forgiven the mobile task force TPK if it a little bit, because it was going into the what's the phrase for? Because they like made them into unlucky juice.
Yeah.
So at least like they like had a reason for it.
Yeah. Desk Vaulta Clef says there's a law that if you win or cash in 10K, that the government gets involved.
So that's like taxes.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it's probably like, I understand like they have to do an investigation. Are you saying like, is that what you're saying? Or like when you say government, you just mean the IRS? Because like, yeah, the IRS is going to want to know. But
yeah. Because I imagine that you go to Vegas and you have that whole thing where like you start winning enough and they start comping your room so you stay longer and lose it back.
Yeah. And laundering investigation. Yeah, okay. So like the FBI or something would get involved. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I could see that happening, but I don't know. Maybe that would have been a good way to get the Foundation involved with this. Is like the guy won a bunch of money and then there's an investigation, like, UIU or, GOC or not GOC, but like, they get involved and then the Foundation gets involved. But overall, this is fine. It's just, like I said, the run-on sentences were taxing. The names sounded fake, unfortunately.
Agent Geronimo Bozo is going down in history, man.
I was very much, I didn't want to acknowledge the actual pronunciation of that, so I'm like, nope, it's Geronimo Bozo. It's Italian. I was like, it's Italian, Yeah. As for drinks, they don't have a drink called Lucky, but the idea of non-alcohol, nah, more like you drink the more you spend. Yeah, but you have to get too drunk, then you can't spend. So they got to balance it out. That's why they get, 4 locos or something. No.
Oh boy.
Okay, that was good. That made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, the vibes are definitely up, ending on a high note.
Yeah. Whew. I'm glad.
And as a sneak preview that we're not reading it, but we're getting it ready for next time, our next article will be SCP-7123 by Ross Boss Arts.
7123.
7123. We got dice on the opening.
Double digiter. Oh, that font though. I don't like the serifs on that. And there's a lot.
Blocky. They're a little smudgy, it looks like.
A lot of footnotes. At least just in the beginning. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, there were 7 footnotes, but it's like all in the first paragraph. Okay. I swear to Christ, if they say the house always wins, I'm not gonna do anything.
Well, we got one of those last week, right? We got the house always wins in an article finally.
Yeah, we had them in at least 2 or 3 now. Yeah.
Oh man, we should have had the luck-related drinking game as we went through this. All the luck cliches, all the tropes in this very, very narrow theme. All right, here's the dice. Here's the cards. Drink every time someone's cursed to be unlucky. Here's
the luck deity. Here's the luck deity. Oh man. Do you see that? There's a D class with 7 digits in its name in 7123.
You
Oh,
serious?
crap. I am serious. D1971991.
Oh boy. How many D class does this Foundation go through? What population are they pulling from?
It's the same timeline with D2000. They just pull them out of SCP-2000 whenever they want.
Yo, dog, you are our 1,000,000th D class. Congratulations.
You get to do nothing different. Sorry.
This Foundation is about to hit its 2,000,000th D class. That's incredible for them. Congratulations.
Man, that turnover rate.
We do daily terminations of the whole population. We got rid of that yearly or monthly long time ago.
I mean,
let them rip.
The Black Moon Foundation was pretty brutal about that. They were like, I'm surprised they didn't put down that golden retriever in the beginning.
Oh, right. Black
Whew.
Moon, 5.5 billion people dead on day 1. Go.
Yeah. Whew. That's like there's a couple of them that we've read where it's like it's killed 7 billion people in the first 3 days. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Ah, man.
Good times.
Good times indeed. Hey, and
third
we didn't
time was
crash a
charm
third
for
time.
Our stream working.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, let me pull up the final ad break. We're closing out, everybody. And of course, what do we want you to do? We want you to support Dr. Cimmerian so we can put those trees in the basement and do redacted and data expunge to them.
Yes. Some of you out there might be fans of maple syrup. Get it while you can. That's all I got to say.
Oh, no. We're putting Aunt Jemima out of business. All those metal trees everywhere. We'll just have metal trees with maple syrup, artificial maple syrup dispensers.
It's motor oil. You couldn't really get close enough to... Yeah,
we'll
we
have
tried.
to work on the texture a little bit.
Yeah. We tried.
Also, go contribute more to Hymns for the Road. Let's keep pushing them toward their stretch goals. We got 35 hours to go on that.
Yes, do that. They worked very hard for that. They deserve it. And we love to see them succeed.
In the description, you'll also find links for the SCP Redacted series with episodes 1 Mallow. You'll find the Steam link for SCP Infohazard. Don't play right now. You'll have Patreon and Slowgramming and SCP Foundation files, Billith's Twitch. We got everything all in the description lined up so you can support Site42, support our greater SCP community, and make cool art happen.
Absolutely.
With that, I'm going to go stretch out, grab some dinner, and Billith and I will see you all in the next anomalous broadcast from Site42. Thank you, and good night. Anytime I need to see your face, I just close my eyes, and I am taken to a place where your crystal mind and magenta feelings take up shelter in the base of my spine, sweet like a chicken cherry cola. I don't even try to explain, I just hold on tight. If it happens again, I'ma move so slightly to the arms and the lips and the face of the human cannonball that I need to or want to. I really just want to get that Chicken Cherry Cola line in. That was the only one that was important. We just did Lucky Soda.